so securely. It's all they're holding hands during during rotations. You saw Tfue got walled out from an opponent that he was chasing up because they were putting layers.
Towers, we've got to look back at that to begin. Look at this ramp to block the rocket, the quick follow-up, and there it is. The player, I think, tried to port-a-fort, but unfortunately landed above him. And then Aiden, once he got to full HP, said, you know what, I know exactly where Nick Merckx will be, and I'm going to go for it right off the bat. Nick only able to tag him for 7. The crowd definitely made some noise there, as he didn't stop at all. He continues to hold forward. He wants to bring the fights to his opponents and get right in their face.
That's multiple window peak engagements from Aiden, taking advantage of every little bit of cover he could. Catches another player off guard as they rotate in through a building. You saw they went for the defensive build too to block him out, but it wasn't enough. The 72 damage crit, it'll almost jar players. That amount of damage that fast, it's the same effect as maybe getting hit by a hunting rifle shot or a sniper during a rotation. You get frazzled very quickly, and you'll see players build defensively, and sometimes it's not enough, especially when you have accuracy like that.
Oh, for sure, and that's just the look at some of Aiden's plays. There's obviously so many other players out there. Kayun had, I believe, eliminated Chap, then went on to take down Replays as well, so 2 bigger names. This was the battle versus Chap that we followed for quite a little bit. It was the one window edit that drops Chap on in. Come on, my friend, and Chap was not ready for it at all.
Those games we're building is just as important as knowing how to shoot
the box inside, and Kane's trying to take advantage. He take ownership of the structures above. He goes for it and forces kind of a rotation out. Players will see ownership change in the structures, and they'll make moves to get away. To say, okay, you think I'm inside there, and I'm not anymore. And Replays caught off guard. Almost kind of Kane saw ahead. He predicting other players' movements is huge for these guys, and couldn't pull it off that time. Advance to today. So every point counts. Every point counts.
Yeah, well, we actually at the end of the game had a crazy little rift to go play, and remember when you pop that rift, it's like a little verticality element to it. Well, pull people in with you. So he drops on down. Landjock uses it, sucks 2 people up with him. Then you see here, it was Nate, Landjock, and Prodigy Aces. Landjock decides, I'm going to drop on down to try to take the rift again to re-secure the high ground. And literally the second he goes to sprint into it, it goes away. Shortly after, he does get that limb, but then is traded fight. Or sorry, it's what keeps him alive then to stay alive and then go on to win that game. That was the one elim he needed.
The awareness from Gorilla right there, even though he didn't get the elimination, just as the second he heard the mini get popped, the sound of the shield, he opted to edit the stairs, push in through, and try and go for the elimination, and Landjock, the accuracy in that double barrel, it just hits like a bus.
It most certainly does. I actually do believe we have Landjock, our Victory Royale winner from Game 1. We forgot to mention, he just won $25,000. I don't even know if he knows.
Buffer.
We'll go ahead and throw it on over to Zeke in the players area.
What's up, guys? Awesome cast. I am here with Landjock, who just, I mean, as you witnessed, he riffed on the goad 3 players, and he gets the victory out. You just won $25,000. How are you feeling, man?
Oh, yeah, the Victory Royale does get you 25K.
I didn't think I was going to win, but the guy ended up dying to fall damage, and I got it, so. Oh, bro.
He shook. Young kid, large amount of cash. Hey, pay your taxes.
I mean, are you ready? Are you ready for the next few games?
Pay your taxes.
Yeah, I'm going to try my best. I'm going to try to win another one, but I'm glad with what I already did today, so.
Now, did you know that you were going to riff those 3 players? Because everyone at PAX is watching this, right? And so the moment you jump down, you activate the rift on the go. Literally, PAX erupts because they're like, you just pulled 2 other people. You dive down and you take someone else out who's like, oh, there's a rift here. And then you just blast them. How did you know they were there?
No, I just knew I didn't want to die, so I did it. And I saw 2 people with me, so I'm like, well, I'm going to try to go down. And it worked, so.
That's awesome, dude. Any strategies you've got going on going into the next few games?
I'm just trying not to die. I'm playing for placement, so just gonna try to survive as long as I can.
Dude, best of luck. Congrats on the victory out for the first and the 25,000, dude. Good luck in the rest of the games. Courage.
Boys, brilliant, brilliant stuff. You mentioned $25,000 richer for Landjock, sticking to his kind of game plan. I want to survive. I'm playing my life, and it worked out perfectly there. Literally the only limb he had to get, he was forced. Like, he had no option but to fight him there.
Yeah, and it's funny, the playing to stay alive, it seems like he's not the only one. We've seen circles with 40, 50-plus players remaining, and the number of builds that happen during a storm rotation, when the circle starts to move, that's one of the deadliest moments in the game. You literally see that the field get cut in half.
100%.
Because people we saw multiple players eliminated by fall damage at the same time, rotating over Shifty. We saw people landing inside boxes next to each other, not realizing that there's 1, 2, 3 players above them, and they're forced into engagements. And right now I feel like people don't want that. People are trying to avoid fights because there's a chance if they miss a shot, if they don't build at just the right time, any little mistake is gonna cost them.
So something tells me this isn't the last time we're gonna see these last zones go down to the storm claiming the final limb, right? I feel like this is going to be the theme of today.
Strap in. It's going to happen more than once. And honestly, it's so exciting and so hectic. There's so much happening. The top-down angles that we're getting on these it's incredible because you can really see it's a stampede of players pushing to try and get inside the next zone. And it's not always shots that are determining who stays alive, who makes it to the top 10 and gets a point. It's appropriate builds. It's intelligent positioning. It's foresight and reading your opponents, and it's happening every single time. These players are processing information so fast.
So much stuff going on. It's crazy. As we get the next lobby ready, we will be hopping into game number 2 very, very shortly. I can see it getting updated on my screen. But there's so much stuff going on. Families here attending this event. We actually caught up with a father and son Fortnite fans. Let's hear what they had to say.
My name's Sean Shevlin, and my gamer tag is YoungPrism98912. We're from the Portland, Oregon area, and this is my son, Rylan, and he plays under the same gamer tag, but he earns all the points. So you had heard about it at school?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he kept begging me and begging me and begging me to play. So finally I told him if he did his homework for 2 weeks straight and didn't whine about it, we would download it and he could play. And so we did that, and he started playing, and now I play a pretty good amount with him, and I teach high school math also, and so I brought it into my classroom actually a lot, and the kids love it. So like this week we did a lesson on graphing, and I took the Fortnite map and we did quadrants and we graphed on there. So that was another reason I came up, was I was like, I'm going to tell all my students that I competed in summer skirmish. My go-to strategy is camping. Where do you like to land?
Tilted Towers.
Oh, my favorite gun, the one-bolt action sniper, because I am a terrible shooter. So if I can't get you in one shot, I'm probably dead.
I like the clingers because you can just like throw it at someone and it just like sticks them, and then they just blow up.
Really want to win $5,000. I feel like I might have a chance of making it through some qualifiers, and maybe I can get there. So
you're gonna get wrecked.
Absolutely awesome stuff to see there. I wish I was able to use Fortnite in my high school math, but instead it didn't go well.
It's okay. It's okay.
You're casting.
No shame in hiding behind the desk curves. That's fine.
There we go. Awesome father-son duo there. Hope to be able to meet them here as PAX West continues. As we get ready for game number 2, I see everyone in the lobby. We have to update you guys on the standings. Remember, $1.5 million on the line today. And here's where we stack up after game 1. Landjock won a limb, but the victory royale gives him the advantage over Nate Hill. E-United's Jack, 6 limbs that first game, leading the lobby just above Aiden. 2 members from Envy in the top 8 as well, and Tifu in that 10th spot.
Already a plethora of players with even just 1 point, all the way up to 17th place. And then after that, eliminations decide, as well as their placement. The tiebreakers came in pretty big previously. It was running around in the player area. You have to remember, too, if you're watching, the player area is completely separate from where we are, so they can't hear us at all. But what they do know is shortly the bus is launching, game 2 beginning. Courage.
This is absolutely crazy here. I'm looking around. People are enjoying the Der Burger free food. There is a line down the block in hopes to get in here. It's gone from standing room only. I'm pretty sure people are just laying on top of each other at this point in hopes of being able to watch. It is a blast here right now. The energy in this crowd is insane. And ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Game 2 starts right now.
East to southwest trajectory. Wailing Woods pretty close to the beginning of the bus, which means a handful of those liquid players, they do tend to the northeast corner of the map. They're going to get down pretty quick, which means I expect to see them in the feed earlier than other players if they do land in a kind of a hotter drop. Retail, and you have people floating down to Paradise already. Fatal is going to get occupied. I'm curious if the Cube is going to come into play again at some point over the course of the day. We're just getting started.
I'm sure it will. I'm sure it will. So you see a beautiful look at that free camera, just watching around where people are going. Landjock says, I just want to stay alive. And apparently staying alive means landing near Tomato Temple.
Flower, I think, picking up potentially the first elimination of the game gets Prodigy Aces. Topboy and Fade both picking up an early elim as well in landing zones.
And right there, instantly picking up the ammo box. That's something that's actually so key in these games because we reference ammo so often. And what, already a 3-person rift use? In a panic situation, it looks like, if I had to guess, Cryo started engaging people with this TAC shotgun. And then they popped a rift to try to get out. One of the enemies popped a rift to get out, and it looks like it was a good way to disengage the fight. They'll live to see another day.
Cryo, you have to remember, was the player that won the coin toss from day 3 qualifiers. Hoping to put on a good show. That coin flip determined whether or not he was making it in here. Gave a coin flip for $5,000 as well, no matter what place he lands. GS Brandon here, a number of players landing here at retail, and they kind of all chose their own home and said, okay, I'm going to loot everything here before I push out. Everybody else, please stay inside your homes as well. It's like a gentleman's agreement almost sometimes. You very rarely see someone drop in at a house in retail and competitive games, get even just a single chest, and then immediately push to engage, because you might be missing out on other loot in the house. They're going to take their time, smack all the furniture inside the house. Hysteria here. We talked about Hysteria lanes greasy very consistently.
It's our spot. We're the greasy boys.
Northwest corner, and actually the first circle, kind of a northwest focus.
That's probably fire. But no, either way, over towards the racetrack. Multiple clingers coming on out. Remember, clingers recently updated. Now act a little bit differently when you stick 2 on a wall. As instead of them both instantly exploding, once the first explodes and destroys the structure, the second will fall down from there and then cling onto the next thing that's there. So instant explodes are a little bit tougher to have happen now. That's Tyler's from yesterday, just backing on up. Didn't have the best game 1, looking to rebound here.
Punisher in Pleasant Park, we had a look earlier. It looked like roughly 4 players were out here. You see there, wow, what a quick swap from the player inside the box. Punisher takes control of the wall, but his opponent re-angles the ramp inside to act as like a second layer to protect him just from that window peek that Punisher was going for. An excellent play there from Rio, but he's going to rotate around underneath, and Punisher is tracking him, following, trying to get another wall replacement. Rio staying on top of ownership of those surfaces, and Punisher's going to have to find a second angle, and he almost does the window there, but Rio's edit there. He swaps and changes the angle of the ramp to act as protection from Punisher's push.
Yep.
Punisher's going to have to find a good angle here. Rio's clearly on top
right
of his edits. The top down.
They actually bounce off each other. Punisher swapping back to the shotgun. Another tag. They're both so low.
How many HP?
38. Rio with the elim. He'll go ahead and bandage on up. This is Wheats. Wait, what?
The Kobe nade kill.
No way.
Shuts it down. A single one gets
the
Chris.
Grenade kill from 81 meters.
Goes for a second. If he gets this, are you kidding me?
No, there's no way.
Close,
okay,
close. Aiden, tilted towers. Not surprising, which means Nick Merckx.
Oh my goodness.
1v1 round
again.
2.
This is going to happen all day. Aiden, each time he's fought Nick so far, has been at max HP. He continues to put himself in great positions to have the advantage. Nick now waiting, listening, knowing it's got to be Aiden nearby. These guys know what skins they wear. They know the routes they like to take. You think whoever wins this fight will claim Tilted Towers for this game. When Nick hears that chest open, he knows exactly where Aiden is. Here comes the engagement again. So far, Aiden eliminated Nick back in game 1, and Nick looking for vengeance right now, trying to spray on down with the LMG. Aiden building walls. Nick in the engagement, the tag, the shield's now gone for Aiden. Nick with the advantage up to this point. He's got to push the agenda here. The crowd getting behind Nick Merckx. You hear the chant going out of the background. Nick has matched the build. Aiden with the high ground. Nick 132 HP. I believe Aiden has just a little bit less. But as I say that, you see Nick with a little bit of a grimace there as he gets tagged for 60. The 1v1, the quick block there. The battle of the century. Two of the best controller players in the world going at it. Aiden down to 2 health. He's going to have to big shield here. Nick wants this fight. I can tell you, he wants to tie this 1v1 battle up at 1-1. Aiden now on the high ground of the building. Nick, I believe, is disengaging for the moment. I'm sure he heard that big shield, Lupo, and that might have been enough to scare him off. What comes to the chest to slurp, as the crowd knows just how good that'll be. That'll put him up to 77 HP as they've just disengaged. They'll both live to see another day. Oh my goodness, Lupo.
Players of this caliber, are you kidding me? Players of this caliber trading shots like this, disengaging. We're going to see these two, I guarantee you, before this circle closes, the next time. They will end up having to fight each other again. Round 3 almost, and Aiden's going to drop on the outside. These drop downs, placing the floor to stop himself from taking any fall damage. He's going to end up 176, 177 HP total here.
I feel like this crowd is fine with just a $1.5 million Nick Merckx and Aiden only in Tilted tournament.
1v1 in Tilted all day.
As they're both going to go ahead, reset. They're the only two here, I think.
You have a couple
There's a couple people now
on the outside.
But that's why they're just like, there's so much loot still on the map that they know, oh, this hasn't been touched, this hasn't been touched. Will they come across each other again soon? Last we saw, Nick still didn't have shields. Here's 72 hours. Let's see how this went for him. He's got the chug jug ready to go. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Well, that is... just a heads up, that's not good, actually. Blowing yourself up with a Glimmer. Oh, replays with a quick scope the other day. Feels some of the counter shot there from Painful PvP.
We've got Flower from Rogue. 2 eliminations already, which means the third one will pick him up a single point. Aiden still back here.
Oh my goodness.
But round 3.
Round 3.
Nick Merckx versus Aiden. 2 controller titans hanging out in Tilted Towers.
Here's the thing though, Nick has no shields. He basically needs Aiden to walk on into the double barrel and say hello. He's waiting. They are 1 pixel away. Aiden charges in. The spray! Aiden again at 20 HP. And this crowd erupts again.
Look at the loot next to him too. He already has a rip to go, a second rip to go on the ground, and the bait to swap there.
If Nick has any shields or if Aiden doesn't have 200 health, you gotta think it's done. And look at Nick, realizes just how close he was. Aiden chant going out. There was a Nick Merckx chant. This is the battle of everything right now in these early games.
Absolutely unbelievable. The launch pad and escape against Laser. Dremen trying to make it away, but the accuracy of whoever, the multiple players down there in Salty Springs say it's not time to leave yet. You got to come back, and he's going to have to box himself in, make numerous layers so he can get a couple of these heals off. He has a slurp, multiple minis, so he can get a good buffer back up, but there are people around him. He's got leads underneath. Vac's taking shots from a distance over there. He has an opportunity now. Looks like they left him alone. This is Tyler's, a player we've had our eyes on after previous gameplay. But we'll see here Jay Cuddy. Accurate shots from underneath. The SMG spray just right on point. And a rocket off the wall. As Tyler tries to layer, you saw he went for the floor placement there. It wasn't enough, not fast enough. Exits from Trouble Boys building up in a 1v1 against Tempo. A very, very good player here. Both of these guys,
I love
excellent builds.
Every time the crowd sees that one of the names involved in the fight, they just go, oh my God, you know, like, they just know how much it means. I thought he was going to try to style with that hunting rifle for a second.
Backing out.
In the elimination feed, Wheats goes down, Sakairos goes down, and Mac also falls. The lobby down to 59 players left. The second zone about to begin to close.
At this point, 30 seconds the choice of engagement here, if neither players have 2 eliminations, I don't think either of them want to fight each other. You're going to see an early rotation out from like your Tempo deciding now's the time to move. This isn't good for either of us. Let's move forward.
Saw that big shield. This is Takada in a fight with someone here. It's actually Nate Hill, and has the instant beam to earn the 3 elims too. Nate Hill, if you saw, was in that top 5, or I believe actually second after game 1. Does fall early here, but even though he does fall early here, Lupo, he's still in a brilliant position, I'm sure, in our standings after this.
1, 2, 3, even 3 bad games, not necessarily the end of the road here for these players, because 6 games, anything can happen. We've seen multiple people shine in the qualifiers.
Wow.
People come from behind, even like players like Saint, who didn't even engage very often. He had no eliminations, but managed 3 points during his qualifiers to make it to the grand finals today. It's still anybody's game. Going for the snipe midair. Are you kidding me?
And as you guys saw for a second as we pulled up the map, this is a Loot Lake ending. Kayun continues to fight these big names and continues to come out on top, as Poach just got sniped by Kayun to be eliminated in game 2.
Kayun's second elimination, which means 1 point soon for him if he manages.
Fails the build.
Just say commentary. Doing some commentary over this.
He does have medkits. He can survive through the storm, but that's a quick tag down to 70. Battle coming on in. The pump does not connect. He's got to reset for the high ground. He knows it as he looks to build on up. Remote explosives!
Perfect placement in the middle. That Dremen walks right in it.
Dremen with the kill.
And you see the frustration there. Dremen, first elim on the board.
Now, currently there are 2 players with 3 eliminations, Top Boy and Takada, which means a single point apiece for them.
But actually, has a point. As you mentioned, Top Boy just got knocked out. So both players got 3 elims. Just dropped.
25 grand at risk.
Still with 2. We have 5 players currently alive with 2 eliminations there you see on your board. A lot of them relatively close to the zone, except for Rio, 400 meters away still. He's sitting pretty on HP and shield, but he's going to have to rotate relatively quickly.
So if you look at it, that's $150,000 of loan.
Might have been the most replaced structure I've seen at the factories there at Loot Lake. We took a look for a second, but Horrify stuck up top, taking a moment. Any seconds he has to pop any heals possible, they're going to go for it. He's trying to place the bounce pad on the way down to prevent any fall damage. Didn't need to. Takes the bounce pad in that situation, though. Tries to rotate away. Gets tagged midair as this 1v1 against X is kind of flirting with the edge of the zone. X is going to try and layer up so he can sneak in underneath. Horrify, and Tempo is there as well.
And this is a beautiful spot for Tempo. Both these players pushing out of the zone. They've obviously been weakened quite a little bit. He drops Horrify down to just a couple shots left. X and Tempo are both like, hey, I want this one. No, this one's mine. As they continue to spray down, Horrify's just in a terrible spot. Tempo not really peeking too much from the other side. Can't drop down this structure as of yet. There it goes. No, it's still locked in.
It looks like it's attached to the 3rd point there. X is hoping to drop Horrify out in the open. Actually, during that, as Horrify was building up, X has had a moment there where he could have with the shotgun shot. And if Horrify was very low HP, it could have been an elimination already and put him at 2, but it looks like a hesitation caused him to not go for it. And he's going to have to back out of this, I think, 60 seconds. And looking at the potential zone movement here and the chance that there's a 3rd player, if he knew Tempo was there, saying that I need to move away now and secure the safe zone rather than go for this. And nobody that is currently alive is shining with 3 elims yet. There's a lot of players with opportunities. AG uses 51 players remaining and moving in past the lake. Very open play here, and he sees that the target in front of him is getting shot from within that brick structure. So kind of a sandwich situation here. He could be the 3rd player here and go for elimination on someone that may be caught off guard. Brandon is the player up top. He's got Unicorn in front of him. Going to push up, maybe establish himself as basically a neighbor here, seeing we're at the very edge of the zone. You see on the map in the top right, he's going for a gatekeeping situation, watching for people rotating in, and that's why he's sitting up top. He's got the edit active on the triangle so he can look through the structure that is currently established there. Nobody can see him, but he can see everybody.
It's a pretty good spot to be in, especially in a battle royale. A look at Blue T, J Cuddy on the edge of the storm. They'll have to move on in. There are 49 players left, and this zone is getting very, very small. You'd expect the lobby to begin to drop quick, and here's the gatekeeping you mentioned. He's got the edit ready to basically be able to peek on up out of there like whack-a-mole at any moment.
Almost expect an edit and maybe go for a hunting rifle shot on that player that was rotating across the river. Horrify we saw earlier. I almost expected him to go down. That means this means he rotated out past tempo, moving towards Loot Lake, trying to go for the safe zone. That's the key right now with 47 remaining.
And we haven't really talked about it a lot today, but you see these players, where they hit these trees, they drop them down to just 50 HP. For the viewers at home who might not realize, what is the thought process behind that if you're a pro player?
So if you finish a tree, the leaves kind of get kicked up in the air. There's an animation that plays that gives away position to these players that are extremely attentive to their surroundings constantly. So you see a tree go down, you know someone is harvesting that area. It's giving player location. That information can be incredible. That one an easy knockdown because it's built within the structure, so it's not gonna give away too much. Plus, any materials are important. The players will opt to not finish trees very often, just so that they can remain as hidden as possible. Kevy here, 0. Elam sitting inside, well inside the safe zone, watching outside this little window, using the camera angle to look around the corner, not exposing himself, and watching for player rotations, an opportunity to take shots at literally anybody. You see Jailmock in the middle of that with popping a med kit, almost no HP remaining. Kevy in the feed, Vape Jesus getting an elimination on Turkey Lips, who we saw go absolutely crazy. Turkey Lips did have 3 Elams though before he went down. For everybody at home, that is a point secured, so we should feel great about that. And there's still 4 games left after this. He has many chances ahead of him. Blind in the feed getting elimination. Before we cut away to this very wide angle shot, you can see this shot is so important. You can see how many players are starting to build up around Loot Lake, a very uncommon location for players to favor because it's so exposed. Courage fighting in the water it slows you down, and you have to have that extra floor layer. You see even where Corroz is sitting here, there's nothing built underneath him. If you're on Loot Lake, you've got to use more materials to even build the same established location, and that can be tough, especially in late game situations where building is everything.
Jay Cuddy sprang with the SMG. Ecstatic was so weak, so that's a quick cleanup. Aiden just didn't stick the landing. That is Jay Cuddy's 3rd elim, which will put him up with a point on the board. I believe that's 2 so far for him today. Blue T chasing this elim down. Look at how weak he is. He's got him down to just 1 shot. You'd expect Blue T to clean this up, but no, the launch pad to disengage. I think he's going to live to see another day.
I'm going to be surprised if he doesn't pick that double barrel up. There
Look
it
at
is.
The loadout.
There
My gosh. 7 minis, a big shield, 3 legendary weapons, and oops, drops them on in. And well, when you got a drum gun from that close and you'd have no shields, you're dead. There's no other way to put it.
I like the comment. Blind, the tracking on his opponent there. Powder went for a jump over the top to try and pull like a jump 180, and Blind, the accuracy during tracking and players that are moving that fast, that close to you, very high sense players, just because of the rate at which they have to build. The Blind so accurate.
This is Animal, who's just hoping he can get a mini off or 2. Hysteria is still live. He's already in the next zone as well. 1 elim to his name.
38 remaining. There's this wide angle shot in the top right. You can see multiple players engaged already in the modern building over there. You have Hysteria kind of taking a look, gets the elimination on the Animal you see there in the feed.
And that's the right idea. He sees that fight, and he's saying, wait, that guy's probably weak. Let me try to spray this down in hopes he stopped for a second. That player, Bolt Naga, only had 25 HP. Yes, he's not able to finish the elim, but it's the right idea when you try to third party one of these fights. This is the 3rd elim for Cuddy from earlier on that we did see. Just sprays down with that SMG to put another point on the board.
Just after that as well, moments ago in the feed, Blind securing his 3rd elimination of this game gives him 1 point. He's very close inside the zone, but this is what we've seen. We saw this last game. We're going to see it again. A high player count in a very tight space. The next circle is when things are going to move. So Chaos unleashed in here. You're going to see a lot of players holding hands. Blind getting another elimination that puts him at 4. 1 more is a 2nd point. The stink bombs coming out. These are very common for rooting players out. Competitive players, they don't necessarily use it in an aggressive manner all the time, but it's kind of like a way to track targets. They'll chuck it at structures that maybe someone's hiding inside just to get a location, because you can see the 5 damage numbers pop out. And it's like being able to see through walls almost. But this is Aiden, someone we've watched. The fall damage in Loot Lake.
There's the live reaction again.
He's got a smile still on his face. He knows there's 4 games left. As we cut to this, I don't know if he saw that somebody's flying literally at the camera, and this is the beginning of the nest. You see players flying out now.
And one big thing I do want to point out: all of our kind of top performers from back in Game 1, they're really not high up here at all on our scoreboard that I'm seeing. So This kind of lead that people had from the first match.
Oh my gosh.
Might not follow through. How stacked is that side of the
west side of the circle is a nightmare. We have a couple players that are established away from that, which is fantastic.
Here's the shot on the one side of the zone. Can we try to get that identical shot to the other side of the zone? Just to see what it's like?
The west side would be perfect. Base Soldier going down to Blind. Blind picking up his 5th elimination. That's 2 points for this game.
Blue T has 6 bounce pads. He can use these to maneuver so easily.
That means he's going to stay up top here. He doesn't have to start building to get away. He's already prepping for a move, moving ahead. There's 5 seconds left. He didn't even start when the zone started. He got ahead of it because he knows positioning early from last game showed to be very important, but other players are going to watch him right there. Getting shot from the side. Not a lot of damage. He still has a ton of shield left. 65 and 95 HP, so he's sitting pretty still. Could take even a heavy sniper rifle shot to the body, and he'll stay alive.
Oh, Jay Cuddy's got no healing. He's just hoping for a 5th limb for another point. I think that's kind of what he's playing around right now. He's going to
throw some rockets in.
Look to push on in as well. Absolute one-shot Blue T. Still with around 160 HP. Looks like Lasius just took down Bolt Naga. You see Joystick getting a limb in the engagement feed. 25 players left as we made it into the zone. The quick little look at the picture-in-picture in the top right of just how hectic this truly is.
25 players remaining. Even though he's at 65 shield, popping the full just to get as much as he can. Late game, especially in these hectic moves, these players, that's why we saw a Chug Jug earlier last game, I believe, from Aiden for only 50 shield. You're not going to have the time to use that during situations like this. Everyone is going to listen for that and push.
Is Blind the only one that is not on the bottom layer? He's in a brilliant position to lay down damage. He's got bounce pad. He's got a bounce pad to fall. He's got rockets still in his inventory. A legendary assault rifle.
Hysteria picking up his 2nd elim. One more gets him a point and takes tempo as Vape Jesus out. Oh. Jay Cuddy, who was looking for his 5th elim, gets rocketed.
He's just up in a tower. That's 2 in a row that he's done this with. C9 Blind now at 6 limbs. He could go on a tear to the end of this game, Lupo. No one is contesting him at all.
Right. Look,
he's completely
nobody
safe.
else is as high as
and
he
it's
is
so
right now.
secured. That structure is so secured. He's going to have to move.
Still, the loadout is absolutely amazing. The shots gets at least 1 midair shield pack. Sees another player rotating. This is an opportunity for Blind to just take taps at everybody that's moving, because somebody might be 1 or 2 shots, and he's accurate enough. He can secure the 7th elim. That'd be 3 points this game alone. There's players right in front of him. I'm surprised he's not taking shots at Blue T during the rotation, because he has layers. Even he could defend himself while moving. Looks like there's going to be a challenge. Drops himself down, takes a little bit of fall damage, but it's not enough to change his mindset about this engagement. He can still be aggressive. Gets a shot. The jump shot. The double barrel. So powerful.
And he's back to the high ground. He's not done yet, folks.
11 players remaining.
He's got more eyes on. The lobby dropping so quickly now. I believe we're down to our top 10 as this is already a 4-point game for Blind. We mentioned yesterday Tyler's had the incredible 6-point performance, the max you can earn from 1 game. Blind trying to do the same here. 8 now remaining. Sean was taken with a quick elim. Blind refreshes his assault rifle ammo. He was down to just 1 clip, and now he has 500.
It's not the only thing in his repertoire, too. The rocket launcher in the previous, what, 3-4 eliminations for him has been absolutely ridiculous. This amount of structure and how powerful.
No one can contest the ability
to destroy. It's crazy.
Oh, maybe a Portafort can.
Spoke too soon. Looks like somebody with the Portafort pushing up and taking an advantage. The Portafort destroys all the structure that it should, that it will break through. And Blind.
Look at how fast that was. Another elim coming on in. Blind dropping all the way down. It's a 1v1. This is it. Can Blind win this game with a perfect score? Blind panicking. There it is. A 6-point game for Blind. As this man is now sitting pretty at the top of the standings.
I can't handle this courage. This is absolutely amazing. The plays, the plays. It's too much. We watched Blind earlier. Track targets.
Look at him shaking. Look at his hands shaking. Here it is again. The drop down. His drum gun wasn't loaded. His double barrel wasn't loaded. He had to spray with the SCAR. That's how caught off guard he was. His hands shaking. But guess what, my friend? You just did the impossible for what a lot of people would imagine. That is a full 6-point performance, immediately skyrocketing up the standings.
C9's got to feel real good about picking him up. I definitely would. What a set of plays. Yep. He had perfect positioning against everybody in Loot Lake as they rotated out. He had a top-down view the entire time. We had the Portafort came came out and kind of mixed things up, but he reacted appropriately as so many players went down so quickly. That last transition, it caught us off guard. Suddenly there were only 2 left. It was a 1v1 situation literally on top of each other, and Blind took advantage of it. 9 eliminations.
You remember back all the way at the Ninja Vegas event was the first time I've ever heard of this guy.
The first time I've seen him.
He wasn't even signed yet. I believe he won back-to-back solos. C9 then picked him up, and then now look at what he's doing for himself. Congratulations to Blind. Incredible performance there. We've got replays for him, as you'd expect. Top elims in the game, top spot in the game, and not only again does he earn those points, the 6 points, he just won $25,000 for the Victory Royale.
Absolutely ridiculous. This moment's up here, sitting on the top of the tower. You see in the mini-map, he's positioned extremely well multiple times during these rotations, has clear opportunities to drop rockets on players. That rocket launcher paying off huge. One of the most powerful tools, the jump shot. Blue T, you potentially Blind hearing the reload going off, and so he goes for the edit and the quick jump shot, and down here, the very last elimination.
You see, he was trying to swap through.
He was.
Was it Chap?
It was.
It was Chap?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
2 titans of Fortnite fighting it out basically up close.
And there's his teammate from C9 giving him the quick little high five. This venue is packed right now. People enjoying the free food over at the Der Burger. All I know is the beauty of this, we are playing 6 games today, not just 4. So instead of being halfway done with the action, we're only a third of the way done. I think we have to go to this right now, though. An interview with C9 Blind, 6 total points, a monster performance, and he's now $25,000 richer.
Guys, what an incredible game. I'm down here screaming my head off. I'm here with Blind. Blind, my man, you just slayed out 9 eliminations in the Victory Royale. How are you feeling, dude?
I can't believe this, dude. This is amazing. Wow, wow.
I mean, how does it feel? So not only did you get 9 eliminations, you get the 3 points from that, the Victory Royale was just 3 points, and 25 grand. I mean, what's going through your mind right now, dude?
Nothing. I can't even, I'm speechless, dude. I can't believe this at all. Like, at one point, like, I don't know, just my instincts just kicked in and I just did what I did. That's pretty much it.
Dude, you were full bore there, gas pedal. I mean, what's the strategy going to be like going into the next few games?
I mean, I think I'm going to play probably the same, just pretty passive toward the beginning of the game and then just go aggressive because, you know, the beginning is kind of sketchy.
Yeah. Do you want to say anything to your fans? I mean, PAX was here in an uproar. Do you want to say anything to them and everyone at home who's watching?
Just thank you guys. Thank you guys.
Congrats. Best of luck in the next few games, Blind. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a short break, but stay tuned. We've got more action heading your way. Oh my God, Blind, let's go!
Ladies and gentlemen, it is a packed house. We are at capacity as people are lined up down the street live for the biggest spectacle of PAX West, the grand finals of the Fortnite Summer Skirmish. This has been 8 weeks of competition leading up to this point. $8 million up for grabs. Today, $1.5 million alone. And it has not disappointed at all so far, Lupo. We've actually got to look at the standings right now. I'm assuming Blind is sitting pretty at the top. No? Oh, okay, wait. He should probably be sitting pretty at the top. We'll get that fixed for everybody at home. As Jay Cuddy, though, still in a good spot. 6 elims and 5 total points.
Landjock, our winner from the first game. We'll get those resolved quickly. But like you were saying, Courage, regardless of how many people are in this parking lot right now, how packed it is here. If you're in Seattle, if you're at PAX West, and you're not down here, you are seriously missing out. We have 4 games left, $1.5 million on the line, and every Victory Royale is worth $25,000 for the player that comes away with the win. That's crazy.
Landjock, $25,000 richer after game 1 with the Victory Royale. Obviously, C9 Blind, $25,000 richer after game 2 with the Victory Royale. Moving forward, we're seeing just how stacked these lobbies are towards the end, how many players are in them. We do have the fixed standings here that we'll go ahead and pull on up as well.
There we
Blind.
go.
Okay, that makes sense.
9
so
eliminations.
Actually at 8 elims and 3 points. Okay, so changes things a little bit, but he is far and away at that top spot, Lupo.
That's absolutely amazing. Literally double second place. Landjock sitting so far behind. I say so far behind. 3 points is absolutely ridiculous. But sitting at 3 points compared to Blind 6, because in game 1, Landjock played very slow, very passive, very methodical, because he didn't want to go for engagements. He was going for leaderboard placement, and you can see Blind saying, okay, I can play aggressive. I can get elims and placement, and it pays off 6 points in a single game. That's the second time, only second time we've seen it thus far.
And remember, 21st through 100th all earn $5,000. It's that top 20 that you can really earn the extra little bit of money. Now, we wound up going and looking at the prizing. Think Blind with the Victory Royale earns himself $25,000. But now that he's leaped into that first spot, doubling the points of even second, when you look at the prize graphic, you're thinking, wait, this man not only with one pop-off game won 25 grand, but could have scored himself, at the end of the day, another $250,000 almost from that one game.
Yeah. Yeah, it all depends on how the following 4 games go.
Yep.
And I guarantee you, like we've seen over the course of the last 3 days, Jack, you're going to see players change the way that they play. They're going to make adjustments. We've already seen a number of players decide, based on what they saw from players like Aiden, Tyler's, Animal, who came away with a 10 elimination game as well. They're going to say, if they can play aggressive and get those kind of numbers, so can I. We've got fast edits, crazy accurate shots, and we have a bus loading up, Jack. It's almost time for game 3.
5 seconds. Here we go. We just saw a legendary Fortnite performance from C9 Blind. Who will do it now in game number 3? It is time. The battle bus has launched. Game number 3 is underway. Who will join Landjock and Blind and become $25,000 richer with a Victory Royale here?
These early engagements, I guarantee you, we're going to see, what, round 4, 5, 6, whatever it is, of Aiden versus Nick Merckx and Tilted Towers. I almost wonder if one of them decides they don't want to face the other again. Maybe Nick Merckx. He's lost both thus far. And I'm going to guarantee you, though, the crowd here wants to see it again. I'd bet you anything in the world. Now, you have in the bottom right there our winner from last round, Cloud9's Blind, an excellent player. Very, very good awareness and ability to track opponents. And we're going to see where he drops versus everybody else flying through that little zone there. The low grav zones, man, those change things up. I feel like you kind of put yourself in an exposed position, but we're going to have a very early 1v1 Blind. Somebody lands up top. Wow, the blue SMG, an excellent early game weapon, and the shots coming out, taking it. Blind doesn't have the ability to build those, so he's got to rely on accuracy alone. He's got to go for a reload, and it seems like he lost track. It doesn't matter. Gets the shots and the fast reload.
Ooh. You see, he shakes his head like, that was not a fight I wanted to have. Nate Hill is just on the other side of the hill with a little tack shotgun and shield combo. So
look at the loadout.
Yeah, unless he's able to heal up real quick, Blind, I think it's going to be in a tough spot, as Nate Hill might just push this right away.
Could go for a hunting rifle shot up. Makes me wonder, Blind must not have realized that Nate was over there. There it is. Go for the hunting rifle. Oh, he doesn't get it. Very close shot, but Nate Hill comes away with that. I think he...
That's what we're talking about, right? He's so low. Nate Hill realizes that I just got a big shield. I'm at 150 health. I can just push this right away.
You know, we heard the engagement earlier, too,
sure.
so there's no reason not go in on that. Cryo, our coin toss winner from yesterday, couldn't get shots off here at Gray AR. Quite a bit of materials for an early game. He's sitting on 13, 12 builds now as he's trying to wall off and rotate away. Looks like he's trying to get a different position. You don't want to repeat the same spot twice. You don't necessarily know if your player, unless you saw them rotate through their weapons, especially somebody like Saf. This is not the first time they fought each other here. Farico taking a shot, that hunting rifle. Literally, as I was going to say, you don't want to repeat the same spot twice because players might have a hunting rifle. Yep. Or look at Saf. He's got a semi-auto sniper. They can take a very quick shot if they know you're going to come up in the same spot. A crit could mean the difference between 89th right now and making it on maybe to the next circle.
This is Saf's fight. I mean, you have to think top down shotgun, an LMG. He had the top down for the moment.
Low build count, though. Only 5 layers he can put up, and players use those very quickly in 1v1s like this. He's peeking through. Look at him look through the angle at the top. Trying to track his opponent. The trap play potentially goes for it. His opponent backing out inside. There we go. Using those materials as layers. It's like an extra defense. It's almost like a shield. He's going to
he heard a shield tag with those nades. Turns around. There's the quick shot on the Farico.
Good awareness from Saf, knowing his opponent is underneath 100.
He got it! I think it was a headshot. I don't know if he got the elim. We're checking out Aiden right now. We'll update you guys there on that last fight. Aiden now until getting pushed.
Still on it.
Not sure who he's battling right now.
No kills, but still in the game. Aiden's been doing a fabulous job right now. He hasn't gotten the victory royale yet, but he is up to score. He's in the field right now, possibly be able to pull off something special.
Lasers crunch on the rotation out and gets his first elimination here until the
kid is a magnet for finding players and being able to get the kills, man.
Hit the headshot, but it wasn't enough to get the elim. That player was so healthy. Remember the semi-auto sniper, the only of the snipers that doesn't instantly drop the opponent. Yeah, Cryo got dropped HP. To like 10 health.
He hit that shot, now he's got to rotate away.
He's looking, he's hunting.
Saf is hunting him down.
He knows he went down there. He's just trying to figure out where he went.
Based on the last few games that he might own this area now, so he can take his time if he's not going to get too aggressive push. Nick
looks like he's a controller.
Nick Merckx versus Aiden.
I could be wrong. What it looks like, he's got the controller player
last we
hunch
saw
over.
was at Tacos. Nick, 200 HP, gets tagged. 38 right there. Wondering if he'll pop this slurp. The way that the ramps are being used right now, I'm assuming it is Aiden because Aiden uses them in the same way as kind of a layered defense.
Nick Merckx is most definitely a console guy. Definitely is playing with the control.
Who's been landing here consistently as well. Ilchase, actually, I think this is the first time he's come to Tilted. He landed, I believe, 3C or Salty last game.
There's 4 players nearby right here. Aiden's in new building. There's 2 right next to Nick. Oh, that grenade blows up the cover. Nick hears the big tags. Won't push it as of yet. You look at the elim feed, poach with an elimination. Nick,
nice shot, Nick.
Shots. There's 1 elim for Nick, still at full HP as the crowd gets behind him. Absolutely a fan favorite here in the Fortnite Summer Skirmish. As the Nick Merckx chant begins, Aiden and Nick Merckx are again in the same building. Ladies and gentlemen,
chants going on. That's got to be a good feeling out there, but they can't hear anything because they're in a separate part of the arena.
Aiden eliminated Nick Merckx. Can Nick get vengeance here as Aiden's actually going to fall back?
This is Animal, one of our top performers.
Animal and Painful PvP and Nate Hill all in the same area. Looks like Animal.
Hunting his
Painful PvP is going to go for it. Gets a kill on Animal. Nate Hill still to his right. I don't think he's seen him.
Back to Tilted.
I mean, how do we not watch this?
You have to.
Yeah, you have to. This is fantastic.
Ecstatic is still the 3rd player in this engagement, and I believe they all know that they're in there. They're watching. They're looking to see who's going to make a move first, maybe catch somebody rotating or not watching out a window. Tilted is very, very, you're exposed. There are so many angles because all the different windows and the positions, you can see through them. That's why we've seen Aiden peeking through windows with those builds on the outside.
Kind of on the same area. They may run into each other, but we'll see.
As like a separator. It's natural cover. Morgoss.
Shots being laid down. Bad edit for that player. Can't see who it is, but you can see now.
As Flower from Rogue goes down, Morgoss pushing
bad
out, trying
edit
to
on his bad, trying to just go for the kill off the window. Sometimes you have to know when to just turn it off and go for cover.
There it is. Takata goes down
another
as well.
Big kill.
2 eliminations. 1 more means a point. Back in Tilted. Courage. These guys, they're gonna go after each other here. They have to. There's no way.
Aiden and Nick Merckx again. Here we go.
I mean,
here we
this
go.
Is what it's all about, folks.
Nick
versus Aiden. Aiden 2, Nick 0 so far in the fight.
I believe Nick's going to find out, or he's in
Nick
there.
His family here watching, a lot of people this weekend wanting to see how he can perform. This is probably, Nick has had such a long competitive history in esports. This is probably the biggest tournament he's ever been in, and here it is. The battle again. We've seen this before.
The standoff.
Here it goes. Round number 3. Aiden peeking the corner. It's Nick building the ramps. Aiden getting the wall in front, just to trying to make sure he's covered and can have some quick edits on out. There's another close ramp. Expect a
Can't
quick
tell you what's going on. It's just I'm just
on
anticipating who's going to win the gunfight. I think Aiden's going to come out again. This is going to be a very,
very big kill for Aiden. There is still Ecstatic just standing still
in this final.
In the big gray building.
If you don't move, they can't hear you, Jack.
Both these players so healthy in this fight. The last time we saw Aiden versus Nick, it was Nick with only 100 HP, I believe. There's a slight health advantage for Aiden at the moment. Probably about 10 HP difference, 14 HP, I think
they're audibly hunting each other, waiting to find out where the other person is.
Still Ecstatic hiding
a lot of running around. Most
you notice he hasn't even moved. He's barely turning and not even really weapon swapping. I think Ecstatic at this point knows that both Nick and Aiden are here. He's waiting for this fight to play out, and Nick, you see, he's looking around the corner. He's watching and saw the rotation to try and get a top-down surprise here. Maybe drop in the shotgun coming out. Shotgun and swap. Shot to the dualies. You can hear him moving around underneath. The audio tracking these players. It's just...
Ecstatic is close by Nick right now. He's like right behind one of these walls. Back over to Poach, though. We've got to show some love to the other players, too. Poach trying to build on up. Still a little bit of a fight.
Get out of there, kid.
One player just below him right now. But he I love this, banking the frag grenades off the wall. They'll fall right at the bottom of the structure, and here comes the build battle. Poach trying to keep up, actually gets pyramided by the opponent over his own build, and Povsy cuts down Landjock. That's Povsy's third elim of this game.
Spray from that the blue drum gun, one of the most favored weapons we've seen in scrimmage, competitive games.
Poach wants
very low. Poach has got to push.
Poach wants this fight. He's hunting right now. Poach for his second elim of the game. Can he break through this structure? Povsy just trying to heal with this campfire. Poach wants this player dead. Can he get the high ground? The pyramid block for the moment.
He heard that sound of his opponent hitting the dirt down there. He knows he dropped all the way down. He's going to take advantage of that and drop in. He's going for the replace every single time, but Povsy's blocking it repeatedly. He's trying to put down the pyramids, the ceilings, anything to stop Poach from getting in and taking advantage of the low HP. And what that does is Poach still knows he has an opportunity to be aggressive. He knows Povsy must be missing a lot there. And the rotation out, it looks like
just ran out. This was Nick Merckx. Low on HP, in a little bit of a fight. How does it end here? Ecstatic eliminating Nick.
It's out. Ecstatic got him this time.
And you see, oh my God, the frustration there. We were saying Ecstatic was hiding in that build for so long. Nick Merckx with an early exit yet again.
It looks like the player that Poach took shots at that was to his southeast might have been a third player in there. He catches the edit there, takes ownership of the ceiling and gets Povsy as he's trying to back out.
Very, very patient from Povsy. You got to, sorry, from Poach there. Never went into Povsy's build. He knew he had time, and he still has the launch pad to get away.
Like you said, Povsy did have 3 eliminations. That's a single point for him. Nice actually right now has 3 elims. Morgas has 3 elims, and Blue T has 3. That's a single point for each of them. Feel really good about that. Looking forward to the rest of the day. A number of players still alive. Saf, Poach, and Ecstatic all sitting on 2.
Jack might just died in the zone. No. There's Ranger, the quick elim.
Securing that elimination. We actually watched Ranger in his qualifiers do quite a bit of solid gatekeeping of the river.
Yep.
It's good to see him get an engagement here on the storm and still win as well.
And it begins. The little structures, the little huts, the one-by-ones. It has started. Minigun, though, being sprayed into Kayun, who's dropped all the way down to the side of this mountain. Dremin is close by as well. Who's that spraying? Babe Jesus, I believe, from Temp of Storm. Oh, nope. Rip to go. He's out of there. He wants to follow this up right away.
He's going for it. Drops in. Not a whole lot of HP, but he's playing very aggressively. I think the thought is that minigun would have torn through his opponent's materials, thinking he can't layer up against me anymore. So, a heavy shotgun right into the drum gun, that back and forth combo, and players like Vape Jesus are going to be really good at timing their shots on that. He can get the elimination if he pushes. He can catch this player unable to build. Replays Bizzle, Wheats, Jay Cuddy, all hanging out north side of Fatal Fields, very populated. A lot of those angled stairs. Yeah, we've seen that before. When you see players do that, Jack, what are they doing with that?
Well, basically, the way you're running, so you don't have to lose your momentum with your sprint. You angle the stairs to basically block the area that the shots are coming in from. You use it as cover. You're not having to awkwardly jump back and forth and swap and spin around. It's just kind of a clean way to build right across. It uses kind of the least amount of materials too. Aiden's still in this, gonna bounce pad and try to follow up his opponent. That's Ecstatic, who actually eliminated Nick Merckx. I think Aiden say, hey, that's my job so far today. I want vengeance now, my friend, as he'll fall on down and reset the fight.
Klinger's potentially pushing him out there. He's looking for a better opportunity and any materials. He's very low right now for this time in the game. 1:30 remaining before the next circle. He's going to go for his jump shot here, but his opponent, Ecstatic, walling off against him, just preemptively defending himself, knowing Aiden is very accurate at close, trying to get an angle. That little peek, look at the little hole he's trying to take shots through. Aiden might have to layer up the other side right now, but he's not going to. He's going to go for the shot and then block it off. Any sort of like, just take that single second, that millisecond almost, and get the shot. So you see Ecstatic, he knows the hole's still there, knows Aiden's still underneath. Just kind of pacing his engagement. Just the right timing is going to be key here. Here it comes. Aiden low materials pushing in the shot on Ecstatic, and Aiden gets the elimination.
And that would have been for 3 limbs if Ecstatic could have gotten it. Aiden's still so healthy in this fight. One player just above. The quick edit out. Looks like Aiden's lost the high ground for now. Jukes out that he's going to break down the structure. The opponent drops Aiden with the elim. That's 3. That is 3. And what's this? A chug jug.
Looks like at that point, Aiden started to build to defend. There might be another player pushing in. The FPS from CLG takes Tendons out just south of Salty Springs. Yes, we saw this a moment ago. Yeah, apparently secured his second elimination, 1 away from a single point, and he is sitting on quite a few spray weapons today. It's an LMG, which you don't see too often, but players up close, that thing tears him up. He's got Blue T above him, who may not realize, but look at Blue T's materials. Over 2,000. He has so many builds. He's got a blue drum gun.
Decent.
Decent to say the least. He's got the ability to rotate away now because he can just layer up as he backs up. He does have the rocket launcher. Explodes right now. Maybe not. I guess it's time to use them. Usually you see those saved for late games. They're very good at dropping structures, especially when the players are playing slow. Is he going for the trap?
Oh, just lost the high ground at a moment's notice, and yeah, he immediately loses it, falls right back down. Not sure exactly who he's battling right here. Down to just 39 HP, though, how quickly it all ends, and now he's in the low gravity zone.
I believe that's Blue T's in a 1v1 against right now. Blue T's going around to the rotation. South side of the tree, using the tree as cover, misses the shot. He's got to defend right now, 6 HP.
I think he knows the end is near. Blue T hunting his opponent. He might just die to the zone.
He's got bandages, and it's not ticking for enough necessarily to beat it. If he popped the bandage early, you see it, yeah, FPS going for that bandage. Every little bit counts. And Blue T saying, I'm waiting. I haven't seen you in the feed to the storm yet. The third player is somebody watching from a distance, taking shots. Nice gets Amon's in the feed. 20-meter snipe shot, very close range snipe shot. Blue T 3 eliminations, 39 players remaining, 20 seconds till the zone finishes. And it's going to be time to mix it up a little bit more. Goss right now sitting on 4 eliminations, Nice with 4 eliminations, Blue T at 3, Aiden at 3, Saf at 3. All 5 of those players still alive, and points for each of them.
Posey. The FPS just lost to the storm, so there it goes. Blue T not able to get that elim. Is already at 3 though, so can't be too upset. Here's a look at your full scoreboard. A lot of players at the top still in this. As we say, if actually Nice gets dropped, you see live right there. But Aiden's still at 3. His teammate in Ghost Sap still alive. Poach is at 2. Nate Hill is at 2. Some big names at the top of these scoreboards right now.
Now, hopefully before too long, there's a number of players we haven't had our eyes on too much. Just the feed has been quiet with them. Players like Tifu, who I was literally about to say his name, and lo and behold, here we are. You got a top down on Kayun. Now, if he's been watching the feed from previous games, he's seen Kayun has eliminated a number of high caliber players with ease almost. Poach, Chap, a lot of big names.
Replays as well.
Replays, yeah, exactly. I would be concerned if you know you run into him.
Quick little spray for Morgoth there. So many materials. And 4 limbs, 3 medkits. Morgos is everything you could ever ask for. You see, just on your screen alone, Bizzle, 72 hours, Chap. Here's replays at maxed HP. Here's an update on Aiden, where he stood up to this point. Oh my gosh.
Heavy shot from Snood there, taking advantage of the swap to the SMG to spray Aiden down. Still comes away with 3 eliminations, though. That's 3 points total on the day, so he's well ahead of many other players. And he does have half the games left today, Courage.
Absolutely.
Morgos looking for his 5th to secure a 2nd point. Would put him at 4 total for the day. 2 behind our current leader, C9 Blind, who was eliminated very early this game. Don't forget, 94th place with a single elimination. Cryo and Nate Hill taking shots at each other. Nate knows he's got him on the outside. Just did damage, knows there's no shield left. That's why Nate's pushing. And the Porta Fort might actually catch Cryo off guard. He's looking for a rotation here. Gets the shot, and Cryo goes down.
And those are the shots you just have to hit. He's got an opportunity to snap with that heavy shotgun.
The prize of a gold double barrel.
Oh, he gets everything. He gets the drum gun, the gold double barrel, legendary double barrel. Here's Cryo again against Nice. There's the cleanup there. That was his first elim of the game. Here's Tfue and Nate Hill, teammates on FaZe Clan. Might be a fight coming here soon between the 2 of them.
Wait and see here. He's got a hunting rifle, double barrel. This is actually a pretty common setup for a player like him. I would almost drop the hunting, and if you got a scope AR, we've seen it in his hands so many times in previous summer skirmishes. You can hear the fight underneath him, the shield. He knows the player just got eliminated. It might be time to go for a push here.
Yep. Tfue just trying to spot. He's got multiple frag grenades to use. Banking them. Fortunately for him, does drop down on top of that structure, which, that was definitely not his plan. Now it's time to begin to launch. He's in. Oh my gosh. Down to just 19 HP, and again, he'll have to fall on back.
Getting caught tunnel visioning with those grenades, not really moving too much. We've even mentioned other players kind of wiggling back and forth. Even if you're doing something like dropping frag grenades down below, you're going to get punished when players are watching every single structure. Knowing somebody's up there, they're going to take shots at every opportunity they can. And Tfue was kind of caught off guard. Like I said, tunnel visioning, not necessarily your best friend in a situation like this.
You have to think the end must be near. Whoa!
A look of disappointment.
Doing his best impression of Tim the Tatman there as he falls to a swift death. Away the road.
A very wide angle shot here. You have a ton of players hanging out at very close quarters. This is going to be a theme for today. People are going for placement, knowing full well that if you get the top 10, that is even just a single point that can mean the difference between 21st through 100th for 5K and pushing into the larger prize pools. Plus, knowing the Victory Royale is $25,000. That buffer is insane. Saf with 5, Elan's already 2 points, and the Rockets are going to come in and kind of chase him out of the structure he's built up, but he's going to layer back up. You see even putting floors and ramps down to reinforce anything he's sitting in. That heavy sniper, I'd love to see just an edit, like a window edit, a quick peek and a body shot on somebody for an Elan from Saf here. He's got the accuracy to do it. The zone's starting to push the remaining players in. Saf, the only one with 5 eliminations right now in this game. Snood sitting on 3 in a very close combat fight. He's taking, like we've seen this a bunch of times, every opportunity for these players, every second.
He has 18 explodes to use right now. 95 health in total, just staying alive, waiting on out.
Now might be the time to use those. Go for any knockdown you can get right now. Especially the higher up structures, stuff that might be connected to only 1 or 2 things outside of the storm.
Oh,
look at the window shot.
Right into the window. Will it inflict any damage? No, I think there was a quick edit by the player inside that 1x1. Saf, 5 elims, top 25 right now. He has the heavy sniper as well. Here's a look from the top down. Sam all the way up top. Saf using another bounce pad to try to move towards this next zone. This time he gets clipped. Looking at our scoreboard right now on our screen, Morgos still alive with only 4 limbs. What I mean by 4 is he hasn't moved up to that top 5 quite yet. Nate Hill at 3. Poach still at 2. And Geomock just got his first elim on the blue tee.
Here we go. The storm's starting to move. We got 23 seconds until it finishes, and now's the time. Everybody, you can see even through these materials get placed down as they're building. They're kind of see-through still, and you can see just silhouettes of players moving every direction. Tempo even down low, going for a bounce pad just to push as fast as he can away from an engagement that he knows he's not going to win. He does have the Portafort. Look at the layer of players to the left side, middle left side of your screen. There's so many in one spot. You know these guys are going to run into each other in some way. It depends on who gets the shot off first. There's so much movement, and traps right now, Courage, are going to be incredible. You heard one place down because you can catch players rotating through structure.
Chap.
Had it down, drop something, put layers above himself.
Is that Chap on the other side of this wall?
You see more silhouettes. He's got the Portafort out. Maybe thinking about putting it down to try and get a drop on somebody above, knock everything down. Gonna take ownership of this.
Look at the zone. Everyone hugging that close side, getting ready to move. 10 seconds away. Remember, top 20 earn a point. And you're not happy with something you just saw. What was it?
The ridiculousness of this position it's terrifying to think half of the players are going to go down most likely during this rotation. And here we go. People flying through the air. Nate Hill getting laser landing outside the zone, ticking, and that's going to be all she wrote for Nate. Too far into the storm and takes literally all it took was 2 ticks.
Yep.
All it took was 2 ticks.
Rip to go. Someone going to the high ground. I think Rex just got eliminated by a trap. You see Chap still with under 20 HP. Tempo with 2 elims. This could be the difference between 2 points and 0 right now. If he can make it to the top 10 or find the next elimination. Sam has not left this high ground at all. Only 1 rocket to his name. He's got to use this wisely. 13 players still left. Who will secure the victory royale and $25,000? Tempo's got nothing left right now. He's just hoping, Lupo, that he can make it in the top 10. A switch on over now to Ghost Fizzle. He's got 1 elim, but a ton of healing in his inventory. 10 minis and a slurp, and still a lot of materials left.
In the feed, you saw Poach get his 4th elimination. This is a player that thrives in these very close combat 100%. Engagements. He knows his way around these little buildings. You see all the way down to the bottom. This is a position we've seen him in a ton of times. Gets tapped a little bit in there, but he has an opportunity to capitalize on this. Morgoth secures his 5th elimination. That's 2 points. Chad making a move, super low HP, and goes down on the move right there. That rotation is going to be tough. Everybody's moving simultaneously. 5 players left, Courage.
72 hours, eliminates base soldier. Geomock dies to the storm. Poach is out of materials. He can no longer build. He's hoping people have to drop on down. Morgoth now at 6 elims, 1 away from earning the 7th, which would be another point for him. You see he's on a low level near Poach. Poach will wind up trapping all these levels as people try to drop down towards him. 10 seconds until the zone begins to close. He's got bandages to work with, but it's going to come down to a heal up, I believe, ladies and gentlemen. Who will make it out on top? Poach trying to take matters into his own hands. The storm slowly closing. 19 seconds, 18 seconds, 17 seconds. The fight's just a layer above Poach. He cannot even build up. That's 72 hours. His teammate getting dropped. Morgoth trades the elim. That's his 7th. Morgoth has a med kit. Sam has nothing to heal with. They've made it to the top 3. Morgoth has a chance to have a 6-point game himself to match that of Blind. Who will out-heal the most? Morgoth with another med kit. Sam dropping on down, trying to spray. Morgoth in the 1v1. Will he get the perfect game? He does. Morgoth with the victory. And look at the hype. 7 elims and the victory royale. Back-to-back 6-point games. Blind, then Morgoth. And is he phasing up? All right, fine. I guess he's like, Banks, send over the contract.
We see you. He's waiting.
Send over the contract, please.
Like you said, back-to-back 6-point games, and we only had 1 during the entirety of the heats and qualifiers.
Does the back of his sweatshirt say 1v1me playground? That is incredible.
It's a DM I get from you quite often, Kurt.
It is. But either way, congratulations to Morgoth. $25,000 richer. A 6-point game. And I think that moves him up to the top spot today as well.
Based on the previous 2 games, if I recall, he had 2 points. That makes a total of 8 for him over the course of 3 games. And we're only halfway done.
We are only halfway done.
But he's in an incredible spot. $25,000 richer as well. That's got to feel good.
Most certainly, I can promise you that. The man just moved right up the scoreboard. What a performance from everybody there. Poach tries to get it done towards the end. You see, can't out-heal that zone. Not as good as a med kit, but we've got some replays to look at first, starting with none other than Ghost Aiden. I think he secured himself another point that game with 3 elims. This was the quick beam of the drum gun. 52 headshot damage with that crit. Back-to-back, just shreds his opponent. This was that second elim onto Ecstatic. That's the player who actually eliminated Nick Merckx in the game. And then here, swaps around. Nibs falls to his death as well.
One of the best controller players. I mean, there's no argument here. Aiden has established himself. Extremely dominant and tilted. Yep. But that's not the only indication. We saw multiple engagements there at the bridge to the far south along the river, and he's able to hit his shots. Very fast edits. One of the best players we've seen thus far, and he continues to show that whether he makes it towards the top 10 or not, he's racking up eliminations and very, very aggressive top-down gameplay.
Oh, for sure. And that's what it's all about. We also have a little highlight from Nate Hill. His game ended in quite an awkward way as he went to go bounce pad, but if you remember, he was actually the one to cut down C9 Blind at Fatal Fields right off the break of the game. And then this was the shot with the heavy shotgun. Look at this as he snaps onto his opponent. Actually, oh, we just missed it, but either way, he snapped, but then that's the bounce pad. It took him much further than I think he was hoping, and as he was going, he gets sprayed down, and the frustration there. Yeah, and the eye roll and everything.
The only option, I think, in a situation like that, you saw the trajectory he was taking. He could have put a wall up on his left and attach it to what was there, and then immediately turn and put one in front of himself to stop. But it's so fast. You're moving so quickly through the air, and the trajectory, like you said, when the zone's moving, you've got players shooting at you from every direction. This is hindsight. I mean, in the situation,
for sure.
He tried to do everything that he could.
You know, coming into this weekend, 2 of the most winningest players of the summer skirmish up to this point, Vivid and Liquid Poach, were the 2 that I had my eyes on. Poach actually this game puts up some heavy limbs to earn himself a point. Did he get 5? He might have gotten 2 points.
Very fast edits.
There's a lot going on.
That ramp block versus opponents, they're pushing up Giant right there, and then immediately editing. It's almost as if some of the reaction speeds, he knows that his opponent is going to react to being blocked off and turn away very quickly. And so he edits almost instantly after placing the ramp and takes a shot as soon as he can.
And this was him hoping to out-heal. This is where you just kind of cross your fingers. You see everyone in the background watching his perspective. Look at all those faces.
A tactic we've seen from some players. So these heal-offs at the end might seem like you're just spam clicking to see what you can get off in time, but the fact that he had 75 HP right there means he had to wait until he took a tick of storm damage to pop the first bandage. He could have healed just a little bit ahead of time if he had anything less than 75, and that could have made all the difference in the world.
Unfortunately for him, his game did end there. You saw, look at the crowd, very comfortable here in the bean bags in the Fortnite tent booth, whatever you call it. Either way, though, Morgoss, our new overall leader, I can confirm right now, just secured the Victory Royale, the full 6-point performance, $25,000 richer. He's on the floor with Zeke.
Just trying to get the 4-1-1 on the new grappler item. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with Morgoss. Come on over, dude. I'm getting word you are now the overall leader. So not only do you get all the eliminations, you get the 6 points, the victory out, 25K, and the overall leader. Dude, how are you feeling?
I'm shaking right now, honestly. I can't believe it. I mean, I've been practicing for 5-6 months now. It's just a crazy feeling to finally pay off, you know?
I mean, so what was practice like leading up to this? Was it just, you know, how many hours a day? What were you doing? Were you running scrims?
Yeah, it's the professional scrims. It's probably around 10 to 12, maybe even 14 hours a day. But I think the biggest thing, the hardest part for me was sacrificing time with my family to practice and be the best.
I mean, but obviously this paid off, right? Sure, you sacrificed time, but then you show the world, guys, I'm Morgoss. Hello, 25K here at finals. I mean, how do you think your family's feeling after watching you do this?
They're crazy. They're crazy for it, I know. I wouldn't be here without them, for sure. They sent me out, they flew me. They've been supporting me for a few years now. It's a great feeling to finally make them proud, you know?
Now, what do you got to say to all the new fans that you've just made around the world, dude?
Phase up.
Best of luck, Morgoss. We'll see you in the upcoming games. Courage, Lupo.
They got it. They got it figured out. He might be doing well with in-game, but apparently still needs to learn how to have a handshake.
12 times the charm, Jack. Yeah. Takes a little while. It's okay.
It's okay.
You hear him, too, basically calling Banks out right now, saying phase up.
No, he's going to keep plugging phase and then get every
opportunity. Time that he can.
You guys have open rooms out there in Los Angeles? I'm trying to move it.
I can appreciate the hunger. Well done.
Oh, it's fine. They'll drop Cloaksy. It's okay. But either way, we've got our standings update for everybody at home. There you go. The man right there at the top, tying the Alias blind, but he's got 2 more points. Nate Hill, frustrating into that last game, but he's still in third. Sap and Aiden, both top 8. Still Poach with that performance, moves into the top 8 there as well. And Liquid Chap, top 10.
You take a look, even the top 10 right here, 3 Ghost players representing Ghost Gaming. It's crazy to see how just recruiting for some of these teams, they're so good at it, spotting players that they know are going to perform well. They put on basically a clinic on how to perform in competitive games, and all these teams got to be feeling good about the placement right now.
Now remember, 21st through 100th all get $5,000. It's the top 20 who then have those incremental, is that a word? Incremental?
It is.
Yeah, it is. Increases in how much they pay out. All eyes on that, who will be in that 20th spot, who will be able to earn some of those bigger numbers. We are just halfway done with the action. I've been looking at some of the numbers watching online. It is absurd, the support right now for the finale of the Summer Skirmish. Hashtag Summer Skirmish. Get involved in the conversation online. Halfway through today, thoughts so far of the matches we've seen?
You're seeing players play much more reserved than they have the previous days. And the reason is, I mean, I can't blame them. There's $1.5 million on the line, and because leaderboard placement, top 10 is a point, they're going for that every single time. It is crazy how close together players are ending up. We've had some wide-angle shots of some of these areas that you lose count of how many people are stuck inside there, and I have a feeling we're going to see it again here in just a second, Jack, because the bus is prepping to launch. If you're here at PAX West, make some noise.
Here we go.
Game 4.
Crowd getting behind it. You love to hear it. Here we go. Reminder, yes, through the qualifiers, we only played 4 games a night. Today, though, the grand final, we play 6. So there is still a ton of Fortnite action to come. Who will secure that top spot and walk away with the majority of that $1.5 million prize pool? There is our winner from Game 3. The perfect performance, 6 points to move all the way up that leaderboard. Morgos.
Now, during his qualifier, a number of times we saw him at 2 eliminations and just outside of the top 10. We watched him at one point try and track down, I believe, 3 different players going for that elimination and couldn't secure it. So right now, showing up, getting all 6 points in a single game has got to be incredible. Dropping in on that blue suppressed SMG, getting a pump action shotgun, and he's got a player in front of him already. He's going to get aggressive. The taps from a distance, only 9 damage because of the damage drop off the SMG. It's definitely not an AR, but it still put up numbers. Going to go for another push here, moving around the outside, and no materials, which means it's all about placement right now and trying to catch his opponent off guard. He's going to drop in and go for, you heard the chest open, gets the shot against the wall that misses, but it still can secure the elimination. And Takata, very good up-close engagement.
That's the type of fight that you need to take early on, which is why I think he's seeing so much success, right? He knows he's got the shotgun and the swap weapon, which already gives him the tools to win an up-close fight. Nick Merckx back and tilted. Only 2 gray pistols, 158 HP. That's Gyron from Misfits just above him.
Looks like Barnology is in the back right corner there. I believe that's the taco building.
3 gray pistols. Nick has 4 pistols right now on the ground. Did he just miss a shotgun?
No, he left the pistol behind. In the corner there might have been a shotgun. He rotated past it pretty quickly. Going for the chest.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Oh, no.
Not bad, but he doesn't have a close-up weapon.
Not really what he wants right now.
Looking for him.
What's up? We looking right here? Yeah, man.
He's got the remote explosives. He wants this fight at the moment. He hears the fences being opened, and Aiden is still kind of hunting in Big Red with full HP.
I would almost bet if Gyron can get this boogie bomb off on his opponent, if he tracks Nick Merckx, he's going to drop the C4 right on top of him and pop it at the same time.
No, Nick's got to keep just disengaging until he finds a better weapon. There you go. He's got something now. Oh, there's a blue pump right there, too. So he'll get the max health with that slurp. People still nearby. Anything good from the chest? We'll see later on.
Brandon over here, retail, the west side. He's sitting on, honestly, kind of a similar loadout, only a pistol for his kind of mid to long range engagements.
All right, what we watching? Yeah, so who winning?
WBG's Ranger in retail, not too far away. This is Raymond just moments ago here in retail before he started rotating up, going for the shot, gets it, catches the
let's go.
off guard.
You see it, y'all? All right, so we bagging.
To secure that elimination.
I mean,
here. I think this is what you think it is, folks.
Same spot.
Aiden versus Nick Merckx again. It never ends. Aiden trying to claim some walls. Nick weakened.
Yeah, man.
On the other side, Aiden in the two battles so far has come out on top. Him and Nick dancing back and forth. And it's trying to just keep the drop on Nick to maybe get a shotgun shot off. He wants to chase this fight down. He knows he's got the health advantage on him as he continues to be max HP in every fight he has with Nick. Does get tagged up once, dropped to twice now.
Sorry,
52. Here's the fight again. I believe this is Nick. Tags him with the headshot. Shields down on both sides. Stink bombs being used
man,
now.
But we're out here.
As I think Nick is going to retreat as both players.
We're doing it, big guys.
These guys, that move right there is one
that's never ends. These guys just keep going at it.
That little triangle to pop out those windows, super common in that building, and both players know it, which means that every floor kind of has exits, no matter where they are. He's going back inside. This is just relentless back and forth between these two guys, and they're going to keep going for it. He's going to use that as a way to try and locate.
Nick got a huge tag. Nick's going for it. Nick's going. Oh, he falls right back down.
He's going for it, man.
Once he missed that second pump, he falls right back down. I believe both players so similar in HP. Yeah, Nick's actually getting shot in the back by Misfits Gyron and beamed instantly by Aiden with that AR. And that gives Nick, and Nick already knew, but that gives Nick full confirmation of who's nearby him. He knows it's Aiden 100%, no doubt. They are on the same level right next to each other.
Back and forth around the stairs.
What's the name of this?
Every angle, it's cat and mouse in here. They're both trying to find that one spot.
He's blocked himself.
Blocked himself out. The jump and headed back inside. Another player sniping in, but Aiden sneaks into the window. The snipe isn't relevant anymore because it's Aiden versus Nick Merckx.
I can't tell if that shotgun actually connect or not. I can't tell right now.
Another stink bomb trying to get any tag he can on Nick. Even himself apparently. The rotation through there is trying to catch.
Man, Nick is getting
guard.
so low. Those stink bombs have chunked away so much HP. He's down to just 99 health. Aiden still hunting from above.
Only 4 builds left too, which means Nick can't defensively play against him too much inside here. He's got to go for it soon. And here we go, 93. The shield shot, and Aiden catches him off guard.
Did Nick just swap to the wrong weapon and he claps?
Are you kidding me?
Oh man, that's wild.
I don't know what to say here, Courage.
Look at this 3-0, baby. I hear from the crowd as Aiden has yet to lose a fight. He thought Nick had the full advantage, but it looked like he messed up his swap or something because he just stood there and Aiden said, hey, friend, good stuff. But unfortunately, we've had 3 battles and I've won every single one.
Rangers still back over here at retail. It's a wide angle shot in the top right just to kind of show you where these players are against each other, what Ranger has in front of him. And there's quite a bit of built up structure here. We'll have to find out if he has ownership of a lot of this or not. He doesn't necessarily know. You saw he was looking all the way up top trying to track Brandon, thinking he's top of that wooden 1x1, but little does he know Brandon dropped down already. He's going to keep checking
screen right now. Man,
shots in, just kind of trying to. It's like trying to flash a flashlight over some bugs, get him to run out from the structure so you can watch Brandon on the move. Maybe doesn't realize here at Retail Row, Psalm is also on the far east side of the blacktop buildings, the stores.
All right, so yeah, so
this dude right here, even on the move here,
knock down this house
engagement, but it doesn't necessarily matter. Now blind, Tifu, look at this 1v1.
Look at that 1v1.
Shots from Tifu.
Look at that 1v1.
The long range double barrel, 7 HP remaining. He's got bandages to patch up.
Sigh of relief, I think.
Solid 1v1. Aiden right now, by the way, the only player in this game
that's
with
incredible,
more than 1
man.
Elam. He's sitting on 2. A score of 3 total over the course of the day today. Tyler is someone we've seen put on a good show in the past. We interviewed earlier.
I am seeing my
southwest side of Shifty, he can make some plays. Flower in the feet, getting the reins knocked down back to Aiden and tilted. Looking for his 3rd elimination, Courage. Maybe tracking Coop Train on the rotation out there next to Loop Lake. all the materials he can gather.
Iron.
Not sitting on a whole ton either. Is this
Man,
a fight?
these dudes are really good at Fortnite. I'll never be this good at it.
Southeast corner past Paradise. Rifts actually spawn basically off the cliff out here, and players will use that as a way to rotate back into the zone if they're forced to. Flower, by the way, picking up his second elim. Another player now at 2 eliminations. Cryo and Top Boy flying past each other. Almost like a synchronized swim maneuver there. Morgos picking up an elimination, our winner. Last round on Jack. The Top Boy gets the shot on Cryo. Both low HP.
And a Klinger actually would have eliminated Top Boy right there if he stuck him more.
Yo, this dog. Man, yo, so yeah.
STDX vibe.
So this dude right here.
Close range,
with the evil
build fight there.
He got a paint roll.
Tries to go for the quick edit, but not able to step fast enough.
Oh look, I want him to win because he dressed up like a burglar with a bone.
The elimination feed again with another limb. He's already top 5 today.
Yeah, sneaky.
Rogue 00 Flower, our first player this game to reach 3 eliminations.
Sneaky as bug, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I want to thank y'all for watching everything.
RG Aces over, shouting out those little boxes.
Where's the beam?
His opponent is over there. Aiden back here, still untilted, gets the shot and takes another elimination. That's number 3 for the game.
You got a draw.
Puts him at a single point. This one, a stack on top that puts him at 4 total for the day. Nate Hill also tied at 4 points total for the day thus far. Like tempo here.
Black girl. Sin Squad.
Low HP, barely any shield. He's got bandages. He's going to take an opportunity while his opponent, your Boyer, isn't necessarily pushing. XD.
Thought that was tiny, my bad. You cooking something? I'm home.
That player with the nade launcher.
Almost
just
eating an explosion there, yeah. He's right next to the cube, which means shield is actually getting added to him. But his opponent, Turkeylips up top, knows if you shoot the cube, it lashes back out at whoever is closest.
Yes.
Turkeylips knows his opponent is sitting right on top of it, so if he shoots it, even though he's the one dealing damage, the cube is going to lash out the player basically sitting on top of him.
Again, when they're near it, they're gaining some shield.
Look at this dude right here. He looked like
first time we've really seen the cube come into play so far today.
I actually didn't even realize it was this far over. It's in Shifty Shafts now.
Yep. So continues to maneuver around the map, still wondering what it even means. Probably something starting season 6, but who knows. Looks like players will begin to have to move towards this middle island. Just outside Fatal Fields. This is a Hysteria on the opposite side of the map.
He looking like
quick double first elimination. He gets it on EMAD's first elimination this game. WBG's Punisher dropping the clingers down there. As soon as those start to detonate, like they drop down now once the structure that they were attached to disappears. Previously, they used to instantly explode. You'd see players throw the clingers at like a wall that they see someone hiding behind, shoot the wall out, and then it would instantly detonate. Not anymore. They drop down like gravity's pulling them down. He's looking for shots. Actually gets the elimination on Rogue's 00 Flower inside this box. Picks up all the loot. There's a handful of med kits in there. Yeah,
look at his materials.
Hopefully he grabs the 3rd med kit. Maybe he didn't realize that there was one sitting there. He's only carrying 2
Max
currently.
wood, max brick, 800 metal is what he currently had. Aiden, another engagement. He's got to move forward.
Bounce pad, go for it. He missed the build. Going for the bounce pad play to fly across.
Almost
perfect. Are you kidding me?
And he actually gets the little benefit of the boost. He's going to land right on his opponent. He wants to keep the pressure on.
Box inside, though. He's going to have to smash his way out.
Man, look at that
owns
pressure.
These walls, so he's got to take an opportunity to melee those down.
Yeah, that's a long ass game. I thought this was a short game.
To the floor and jump up. He almost went for the edit. Didn't get it off the time. Goes to the on that outside wall. Is starting to drop down underneath. Probably heard the rockets coming and reacted, thinking they're headed towards him no matter what. So it's time to build away. Change the angle against his opponent. Always kind of mix it up. You never want to repeat it. This is a good example of that. Goes for the shot in. A little clip in the shotgun.
What's the grand prize?
LMG, a 52 in there, and gets the elimination. Kucher in the crowd going wild here. 40 HP. Player 3 is into the match. 9 HP remaining, and Mars Cities gets the elim and stops Aiden from hitting 5 elims. That would have been 2 points, but only 1 this game.
Finally gets shut down. What a build performance right there.
But they like
throws a stink bomb in.
Right?
And that one is smelly. And
Tyler's
just dies to it right away.
That, by the way, is our 2nd elimination over the course of the entire weekend. Week 8 of Summer Skirmish. 2nd elimination to stink bombs. I saw a stat online earlier that said that 1 happened, I believe, in day 2 qualifiers. X's replays kind of bouncing back and forth next to each other. Spots, Bizzle rotating into the safe zone. Just kind of moving around, trying to track down anybody in these areas, looking through these builds. If there's anybody left alive here, if there's anybody watching, who plays wants to know where they are, and this looks like he is pretty alone here. But this wide angle shot, this is where the field starts to tighten up. You've got nobody right now that's currently alive with more than 2 eliminations. Diggy, Nate Hill, Punisher, and Wheels 960 all have 2 eliminations.
He doesn't have a lot to work with. I mean, look at his inventory.
He doesn't.
Thermal, assault rifle.
Oh, how can I look at it?
A gray SMG and 5 bullets in a shotgun. He's going to get to a point where he kind of has to force something here soon. Here's our scoreboard of the players alive right now. No one remaining in the game has 3 elims yet.
The shots from the side. He does have quite a few builds, at least for a little engagement right now. He could use the launch pad to fly away if there's any concern. And the shots coming in. He's going to have to try and build and defend against that. For that edit to get out. Missing those edits, those fast edits like that, it can cost you if players are right on top of you. Imagine missing an edit like that, having to go for it a second time. Somebody's going to fall in and get an healing on you if you're
Diggy got a second.
Ranger outside the storm. No HP, no bandages, no med kit for Diggy, so he's going to take a little bit of damage. But coming away with an elimination, that probably a good idea. It's a worthwhile trade.
Look at the high ground. Snood and Fulmer outside Fatal. Some player launch pad, so he's just going to follow suit. He's got to be worried about the player up top. Uh-oh, down to just 48 HP. Should be safe for the moment. All he's got left is Brick. He's half in the low grab zone, half not.
It's literally in a box right next to him. He might not have realized, because he was getting shot from the player up top in the tower on top of the hill. He might not realize that Nibs is also hiding inside. I'm sure he saw the structure, and it's clearly one that has capacity to hold a player. There's no edits for anybody to come out of it, so I would almost assume he knows there's somebody's right there. Plus, the footstep movement from Nibs right now. He's in a tight spot here, though. Low HP, not a ton of shield. He does have a gold double barrel. You see him with it out right there. And Nibs is the player up above him. Starting rotation. He's going to watch each other.
Farico blocks Lassius as he looks to build on up. Look at the inventory. Drum gun.
My.
Gold double, or the legendary double barrel. 3 remote explosives. Chug 9 minis. But, you know, it's all great to have, but you got to live through the fight to be able to heal with it.
Looks like he went for a double barrel shot and whiffed it just over the top. The bloom on those things, sorry, the spread pattern, how wide it is on the double barrel. Plus, we talked about the damage drop off of those things. You have to be in bludgeoning distance for it to be at max effectiveness. And his opponent was so far away, it might not even be worth it to go for it.
Jeez, listen to the build speed from Hayes Farico. He's been shot by 3 or 4 players that aren't involved in this direct close fight.
I guarantee you he wishes he had the time to get that chug jug off, but all he has is time. I mean, his opponent underneath trying to pickaxe his way up through, gets the build, still owned that staircase. Lassius pays the price, gets caught off guard as the edit drop down. Quick double barrel shot, that thing in the same box, man.
That's a huge moment, because that gives him the ability now to chug jug, assuming he's going to pick up that heavy sniper rifle. No real updates from Sam yet, as he just is trying to stay hidden with how little health he has. Prodigy Ace is yet to get an elim this game. He's top 43.
See Animal, I believe, in the webcam there on the right side watching from the side. Looks like he must have been eliminated earlier. I love how the players, they want to see everything that happens, so they'll watch every POV they can.
I mean, they're all so passionate about this game for a lot of these players involved. And I mean, you and I, this game's changed our lives. So you get involved here and you want to soak in it all and just enjoy the event. And look at our last real place of interest involved in the map is Fatal Fields. Nate Hill, 3rd elim here would give him another point, and
almost went for it. By the way, you mentioned the 3rd elim for point. Punisher right now, the only one so left alive. Hit the shot.
Look at his reaction. No way, he says, as that player who was just in his sights soars on out. Nate, is this going to happen twice in a row?
Yeah, I don't know. He's going to go for it.
With the shot there, tags some shields. He's only got 57 HP. Can't get the elim as well. The tree was weak. No follow-up. He's going to chase it. I think he's going to go for it. He's risking the game on this.
He's hungry for that 3rd elimination. Securing the point would be pretty big. This would be point number 5 for him on the day.
He gets control of the wall.
His opponent building up the edit, coming out the top. He's trying to get a top down on Nate.
Hey! I'm shot there.
Can't hit the shot.
Could not track Hysteria on the way down. 85 HP. Could have been a one shot from that heavy shotgun, but not enough.
What up, Jew?
Missing the shot cost him that one. And the option there, Courage, you think going for it to try and get that third elim for a point was a good call? He wasn't sitting too high on HP. Maybe playing a little more secure and wait for your time to strike up somebody that isn't paying attention was a better call.
I don't mind it right there. You know, it's one of those things where everyone assumes the player's going to be so passive.
What? Oh, where? Hey, wow. Stop.
Hoping to maybe catch Hysteria off guard. It's also, he had no safe place to really go to. Everyone else was already set up and secured in the new zone. Marcity's just got blown up by remote explosives. That was Rico.
Horrify is actually sitting underneath. Yeah, he's not even moving. Horrify is right underneath Turkey Lips.
And he's just chilling for the moment. Here's Coach, his first limb of the game. He'll get a slurp.
I'm closing it, dang. Oh, this. Hey,
Juice off that, which put him at max health. It's the perfect item to get. Punisher replays and Cease also nearby.
60 seconds left before the first time the circle's going to move. 30 players left on the field, so we've had far more players eliminated early this game compared to even the first and the second, which means this won't be as tight, as chaotic of a circle move, but it's still going to be crazy. 30 people left, they're 29 now. In this size of zone is rough. Hysteria in your feed there, getting another elim there. That puts him at 3, which is a point. That's his second on the day. Farigo has 4 eliminations, leading the players that are still alive in this game, which is 1 point for him. Punisher with 3 as well. Nobody else alive but besides those 3 has 3 eliminations or more.
Strugs keeping the high ground. Punisher inching closer and closer to safety in this next zone. You see on the minimap, basically 1 block away. That'll probably put him as safe. He wants to claim all these walls. There can be no quick edit ins from his opponent. And he's still got 600 plus medals, so he's more than happy to do this. Is this ending in the low gravity zone? I think this is ending in the low gravity zone.
I believe it's about to push that way.
This is going to change how this entire final circle plays.
Players are going to have to be careful when they jump in this thing. You float much higher than typically you'd be used to, which means people that are going for shots on you while you're in the air, it's going to happen a lot. You might even see people, oh my gosh, the number of people that are jumping.
Oh my goodness.
What is happening?
Wait, what is happening? Wait.
Flying way in the air.
One of them's a shot. Wait, what is happening?
It looks like while they're in the zone, they're getting pushed up in the air. I've seen this a little bit online.
Wait, what is happening? The rune now flies you around? Even they don't know what to do. Look at this. What is going on? It's just floating him up and down.
Diggy and the feet didn't stick the landing, a 22-meter drop. You see them, they're going for literally anything. Players might try and catch themselves with builds.
Okay, no matter what, this is hysterical.
Hysteria going down on the feed. People are just taking SMG and rifle shots while flying through the air right now.
Wait, so is this how this low gravity field now works?
I've seen this a couple times, like videos on Twitter and stuff.
Do you activate this?
I don't know if this is...
What is happening? He's trying to box himself in there. Okay.
Catches himself. He's... you see him put his hands up.
What is this zone right now? Oh, well, when I said it's going to change how this whole game is played.
You were more right than you realized.
I really was not expecting. He's now floating in this.
He has himself boxed in basically to catch himself. He could open up
it's
basically
gone from low gravity to no
page.
gravity. Poach is like, I'm going to sit outside this. Oh my goodness.
13 players. The storm's going to start to move, maybe saving players from kind of a confusing way to engage there. There's no way you practice for something like that. 13 people left, which means if 3 more go down, Poach picks up a point. If he gets 1 more elimination point, Poach picks up a point. Might get one right here. The quick edit, takes a shot through, but couldn't secure that one. Does get a shield tag. 1 player more needs to go down, and then everybody, there it is. Rio secures the elimination on Farigo, who we were watching earlier, fly through the air.
We're in the top 10. Everyone remaining now has earned a point. This is where Poach is in his most comfortable zone. He's got a launch pad to use as well. Still enough materials to make some things happen.
I think I saw on the feed a 53-meter fall damage elimination. Somebody was taken out by that, which might have meant as they were rotating in, they didn't get ahead of the anti-grav zone. The reverse gravity zone, whatever you want to call it. That was ridiculous.
At this point, yeah. I think anyone was expecting that. Poach now top 7, inching every second closer and closer towards this next zone.
Poach taking shots out, trying to do anything he can just to try and get a tap here. Holding the edit. Looking outside, tendons rotating in right now. Sofa rotating in right now. Everybody's kind of on the move. Sofa might catch the opponent off guard. There's shots from the back. Poach tracks down his 3rd elimination, puts him in the top 5. 2 more going down will get him yet another point here. Shot through times. You saw him there. He's waiting, just holding ADS, waiting for the wall to go down. He's trying to sneak through this edit. Got to get through fast enough and does not make it down.
Oh, the storm ticked once more. That was his 3rd. That'll give him a point. Remember, top 3 earn another point. Whoever drops next be a heartbreaking way to go out. So we got eyes on tendons right now at the bottom of this hill. They'll have to move a little bit up. Sean was taking above it. A snipe, 9 meters. 9 meters from Bowman to eliminate Sofa. 3 players left. He's got no materials, but he's got a med kit.
At this point, he has the bounce pad. He's probably going to build 1 layer out and bounce his way down. If he's going to go for this, I don't think he could drop down just based on materials alone. A 1v1, drop it in. Sean going for it, takes the shot with the shot. He gets it midair, 49 to 77, and misses the tendons with the trap play. Are you kidding me?
Tendons with the trap a limb. Like he's going for Twitter clips. Look at this. Tendons spams the walls. Oh,
that was his 5th elimination as well.
That ending of that game,
a 5-point game,
was one of the wackiest things ever. Between the whatever the hell the zone was.
Welcome to Fortnite.
With the people floating around.
What do you say?
Cards. That's my notes after that one. That's where I stand.
What a game 4. We thought yesterday was insanity.
The weather's nice out. Yeah, it's nice. It's really nice out today.
Yeah. I don't know what to do with my hands again. That was incredible. A trap play to finish.
Just throw up the replay. Just do it. We're all taking the same. This crowd, everyone just going nuts on the trap, going nuts on how it all ended. Here's hysteria. Had that double barrel and just showed off its strength, close range. He's performed quite well today. I would say of all the days up to this point, this is definitely the best he's played. You know, he's been in the competitive gaming scene and at major tournaments for other esports for the last, well, decade plus. This man is no stranger to being in intense scenarios. There's the 3rd elim that gave him a point. You got to be happy if you're hysteria, to say the least. Moving forward, anyone's game still. That's the beauty of it. We've seen from these 6-point performances, which have happened twice already today, as we pull up Farico's replays here. Literally anyone can rise up these scoreboards in these final couple games.
It's funny you say rise up these scoreboards. We watch Farico floating in the air. These players literally going for SMG.
That was Chap
going down in the air. Swapping weapons, just going for replays, anything they can while they're up close on top of each other. He actually got multiple. It takes Horrify out as well as how he got to 6.
Oh my gosh.
Dropping rockets, he sees players boxing themselves up, but at that point, if anybody has secured themselves kind of a chamber to sit inside, they can just take shots at him as he's flying. But what, Jack, what happened?
I need to hear from, did that just get updated in the game? I know it always happens. Our winner at the end, Tendons, we'll see it again. The trap a limb at the end. I think he even surprised himself.
There was a point in time when players first started to get used to boxing each other in, maybe early in season 1 and 2, where they were going for these YouTube clip kind of plays where they put the walls down and trap them in. He does it in the middle, literally in the middle of the final week. That was summer scrimmage.
That was 5th elim too, so that actually put him at a 5-point game by himself right there. Not the full 6, but still. If you're Tendons right now, you just put yourself in a great spot to win a lot of prize money today.
Oh yeah. He's got to be feeling, like you said, $25,000 just for that win alone.
Yep.
And probably a solid high five for a trap elimination to win the game, to be honest.
You don't win any extra money for that. But I believe we have Zeke. Oh, this is beautiful. This is going to be
one
incredible.
For everybody.
Zeke has Aiden and Nick Merckx.
Hey.
All you, Zeke.
I mean, were you get tilted? You want to see Aiden and Nick Merckx? Well, I mean, gentlemen. I mean, hey, I've got him. So, guys, let's talk. Tilted Towers. What's going on? We'll start with you, Nick.
We got some spicy fights going on right now. The first one, I didn't put up too much of a fight. He had a great right-hand peek on me. The second one, I swear I thought I hit him for 500 health. El Daños over here, the limited time game thing. He had so much health. I kept cracking him and cracking him and cracking him. And then that last one, those poison nades you threw on top of me, just, man, again and again and again. But it's been good. This is the first time I feel like I've just been really pressured and tilted. It's going his way right now. But yo, I still got more, and I'm gonna give him my best. You know?
What about you?
Dude, they've been close fights. First one, you know, was a tricky window shot. Second one, you know, he got me at like under 10 health, something like that. I was like, oh my gosh, this is a PC player. This guy's nuts. He shoot me through the windows, everything. I was like, dude, I'm definitely dead. And I kept getting chests. I got like slurps and everything to keep me alive. So then the third one, you know, it was tricky. And we were in Nick's towers, and I had a couple gas grenades, you know, to make him move around. So we're having good fights, man. We got 2 more games. I'm sure we'll meet each other again.
Towers today, but hey, I'm gonna try to take him back. All right, I'm trying to take him back. Yo, I hit you for 500, man. I'm telling you, I counted it. I'm no mathematician, but I got him for 500. He just kept staying alive, man.
So I mean, is it fair to say you guys are gonna keep landing tilted? I mean, yeah.
We already know, man. Yeah.
All right, so who do you? We got 2 more games. So I mean, is it going to be you two? Is it going to be you two? Is it going to be 1-1? What do you guys think?
Dude, truly, man, these fights are long. There's a lot of ins and outs. I guess it's just who plays better, who's quicker to the punch. He loves it. He's really aggressive, you know. But if he falls into my trap, it should work, you know.
What about you?
I think he's going to get me a game. I like to just, you know, get the mats quick and just rush him before he can get what he likes. And yeah, I'm gonna just keep putting the pressure on him.
I mean, and the final question I want to ask you guys are playing on controller, and you guys are showing up everyone. Do you guys have any tips, any words you'd like to say?
No, man, I'm super happy to be here. I feel it's a very unique and cool thing that him and I get to compete against PC guys and stuff and kind of put on for an entire community that I know I care a lot about. I'm sure you do as well. And you know, we're both doing very well today, especially you. Just keep on carrying the torch, and thanks for having me. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man, it's an honor to be here as well. You know, we're doubted as console players, so to come in here and compete and, you know, play so high, it's awesome. And to meet Nick, it's awesome, man, having some good controller players in here.
Fantastic, gentlemen. Best of luck to you guys going forward. Courage, Lupo, back to you.
Ladies and gentlemen, live in the venue, could we make some noise for those 2 great competitors here?
People have been going nuts every single time they run into each other. They even threw together a quick like round 3 fight graphic for the screen, which was awesome to see that. And honestly, like Nick said, we've got 2 games left. I have a feeling he's going to turn it back into Nick Towers at some point, my friend. Right. Damn fam will be very proud when it happens.
Oh, you know, they roll deep out there online. What a day it has been so far. I know everyone's talking about the ending of that last game. What a funny moment. But either way, I think we should have the standings updates for you guys here very, very soon. So actually, first, this is a little TV, little technique right here. Standings right after this. Quick break. Don't go anywhere.
Damn.
You know what to do?
Oh, now that nigga cheat. Right there. They're white. Oh, you feel like my bad, baby.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the continued coverage of the grand final of Fortnite Summer Skirmish. My name is Jack Courage Dunlop, and I'm joined by none other than the wonderful Dr. Lupo. We have played 4 of our 6 games, and so far, things have been crazy.
We've seen some insanity, Jack, and we got 2 games left. It's not even close to done yet.
Yes.
$1.5 million on the line. Players starting to establish pretty significant leads in terms of points, even eliminations. We've seen aggressive gameplay. We've seen people playing very secure. We've seen, honestly, some of the fastest edits and replacements of materials to just make windows and take shots at people that I've ever seen.
Yep.
The number of players that we've seen people flying now, which is insanity. And I mean, this is Fortnite. This is one of the things that drives excitement for a lot of players is just how aggressive people can play a game that is so open to so many players. I feel like everybody plays it.
No,
everybody plays it.
For sure. Everyone knows what it is. Everyone plays it. Now, it's a quick update for you all at home. I know that last game was absolutely crazy from top to bottom. We have some a little message to share. So, all Fortnite competitions are played on a live server environment. Players' last game were in an anti-gravity zone. The anti-gravity zones have been disabled for the rest of the competition today. So in games 5 and 6, we won't be flying around nearly as much.
It was exciting to watch. Don't get me wrong. And we both kind of didn't know what you threw a card in the air. And
no one got hit by it.
Exactly. No one. Not even remotely. Can't prove it. It's not anywhere on the internet. But for the following 2 games, the last 2, Game 5, Game 6, that stuff, like you said, it's off.
On the ground.
Jack, you'd said before, stick around till after the break for the standings. Well, guess what? We've got them.
Boom.
Let's take a look.
Let's see where we stack up after 4 games. Morgoss in that beautiful top spot. 12 limbs, 8 points, feeling darn good. Tendon's last game, though, with the limbs, which was nuts. And then you see Liquid Poach actually moving to that 4th spot.
Now, Morgoss, like you said, the leader there with 8 points, but there's a number of players very close on his tail. We have a ton of people here with 3 or more, even 2. Boyer down there in the 16th slot. A lot of high elimination count. We already have multiple players, 4 players with double-digit eliminations, but that's not all. Here's your 17th through 32nd. Tons of players. We've seen Kayum putting on a good show, taking out a lot of big-name players, people you've seen all over the place in Summer Skirmish the prior 7 weeks, even the last 3 days, and he's starting to assert some dominance. Punisher here starting 33rd. And all these players, it is terrifying to see the list of names here. And you have to remember, too, we've seen already multiple people in the grand finals drop 6 points in a single match. That means, I mean, the leader's at 8. Anybody can catch up. Anybody, nobody's safe. It's absolutely crazy.
$1.5 million on the line, 21st through 100th. All take home $5,000. So the top 20 obviously see that leap in prize money. That's going to be kind of our thing we look at. Another thing to keep in mind, a victory royale is $25,000. I saw Cypher actually tweet out and say that was a $25,000 trap elimination. And that's exactly what it was.
It's absolutely wild. Now we're just getting word in. There's actually an additional change on top of what Courage mentioned earlier. The anti-gravity zones being disabled. Are you strapped in?
Ladies and gentlemen, do we want another announcement? I think we could give another announcement to the folks at home. We are adding a 7th game to today now, so everything stands and we get even more Fortnite action. The day keeps on going. And the 7th game will also have the additional $25,000 prize for Victory Royale.
the insanity
this day
of the
just
last game.
keeps getting better and better,
Not done
folks.
yet, Jack.
I'm loving this right now. I might miss my flight later. I don't even care. Let's keep having a good time.
3 games left now. We're going to roll into game 5 before too long here. But 3 games. That's, like you said, an additional $25,000.
Yep.
I think anybody that might have been confused, thrown off by the players flying through the air,
like we were.
No, I mean, you saw it on our faces. That was crazy. They get another shot. Game 7 is going to come up at the end of today. What a way to go out today, too, man.
I'm loving this, man. The storylines keep building. The interview with Aiden and Nick Merckx was hysterical. A lot of respect from them.
It's a rivalry you love to see. Everybody here loves to see it, too, right? Can we make some noise for these gentlemen?
They've been getting into it as well. It's been awesome to watch. Definitely becoming fan favorites, players making a name for themselves. This is absolutely the biggest spectacle at PAX West this weekend. A fully at capacity Fortnite booth with the grand finals of the summer skirmish. Obviously, this is like just the beginning for Fortnite competition and what's to come. I can't wait for more announcements. Obviously, Season 6 right on the horizon. Everyone wondering what's happening with the Cube. You've got the new limited time mode coming out next week. High stakes, all the new skins. It's a darn good time to be a fan of Fortnite, I can tell you that much.
Jack, from one friend to another, if you don't put up a good grappler montage clip, literally the day that you get home and play, first game, literally first game, I'm going to remove you from my friends list. I'm sorry.
Well, all right. No.
I won't
Please
really.
don't do
I would never do that. Are you kidding me?
I'll yell at the end of it, and it'll be uploaded to all social media. So
of course, absolutely.
That's the only way.
It's what you do.
Yeah, that's literally my job. We are getting into Game 5 here very, very soon. Appreciate your patience as we got all things sorted. As you can imagine, after last game, some people wanted to have some chats about
exactly
what occurred, but there's all our players now. They've been told there's a 7th game. There's another $25,000 up for grabs, the Victory Royale. Everyone loading on in. Nick Merckx getting the headset ready as the crowd gets behind him. Top boy there on your screen.
Nate Hill right next to him. All these players. It's so many people to keep your eyes on. There are a number of players too that we've discussed multiple times that were stars for the qualifiers before this. We have not seen put up a big show per game yet. We've got 4 games down, 3 remaining though, which means it's still anybody's game.
Yeah.
We can see multiple 6-point games still, as we've already seen in the first 4 matches. We've seen some crazy plays, some really good shots from players, some predicting the way that other players are going to play, the movements they're going to make. I love seeing that kind of stuff come out.
Yep. And I believe we're going to get a quick reset on the lobby as one player wasn't connected. So we'll go ahead and get that all sorted before we hop into Game 5. A lot of people talking after that last game about everything that obviously went on. Hashtag Summer Skirmish online. Just crazy to see just how many people are watching this. I mean, you mentioned to me some figures of people who were tuned into streams.
Over 700,000, I think, on Twitch alone, and that's not the only place it's being broadcast. It's incredible.
It's a lot of people.
Incredible.
That is a lot of people.
A few, yeah.
You know, for everyone during the break, one funny moment that happened was, if you missed it, I threw my card and actually hit wonderful lady.
He did not actually.
In the back of the head here. She's not suing me. I did give her a bunch of exclusive PAX codes for the spray in game, but funny moments like that. I think it was between the anti-gravity and that, we had a lot to talk about during that break, so it went by pretty quick.
It did indeed. And you have to remember, if you're here at PAX West, if you're in Seattle even, Jack might have mentioned earlier, it feels like the place is packed to the brim, but please, make your way on down here. We have 3 games left, and you don't want to miss a second of what's happened so far today. Fortnite they're setting the standard for events like this, and Summer Skirmish, I feel like, is only going to be the beginning of what's to come. I'm sure Epic has all sorts of shenanigans up their sleeve. The competitive scene is only getting started.
100%.
We've got all sorts of, like you said, we've got a new mode coming down the pipe here. This is only the beginning too. We've seen a trend from them even at events like this, like PAX and everything before this. We saw the Pro-Am at E3 was outside in a stadium.
Yep.
This is only the beginning. There's so much more to come.
No, for sure, and it gets me excited just to think about the future. Either way, we talked about it a little bit earlier, but to look back at our games so far, we mentioned how every break of these games we can basically just wind up seeing exactly these same players fighting because they're all landing at the same areas for the most part. You know, we were looking at Aiden and Nick fighting in Tilted, Cryomi as well as Sap fighting at the top of Viking Village, Hysteria getting into engagements down in Greasy. Now going into what's going to be the 5th game that these guys have played against each other, it's getting to a point where you can almost land and know, okay, This guy's going to push me from this area in the next 15, 20 seconds. This guy's going to be in this building. I'm wondering if we see any strategies change now to kind of make it so they can potentially get the drop on their opponent that lands near them in their drop zone. Well,
some of them, like you said, I mean, Aiden and Nick Merckx, we'll use as an example. It's been a spot, like a highlight moment every single game thus far. And Aiden, the 3 of the 4 games so far, there you see him on the screen right there. Both very, very kind to each other in that little interview. But I'm sure Aiden is thinking, yeah, right now I own Tilted Towers. Yeah. Nick, I dare you to come back here. And that kind of confidence, that's going to help him. Whether it's accuracy or positioning, he's got, well, seemingly he's got it all so far. The window peaks, everything he's doing. He even at one point he said, "This has got to be a PC player that I'm playing against." And lo and behold, it's Nick Merckx, another one of the best controller players we've ever seen. And whether he's losing to Aiden in these engagements or not, the fact that they're still they're fighting for that long, they're disengaging and re-engaging those choices. I think that establishes that win or lose in that 1v1. He's putting on a good show. Yep. He's very aware of what's going on. I mean, there's going to be an outplay from him soon, I guarantee it.
I think that kind of sums up Tilted perfectly, right? Like, there's so much already established building there that they're just navigating in and out of these corridors, using sound to their advantage, making sure they can kind of catch their opponents off guard, hide behind a wall, third-person perspective. Either way, it shows just how much these guys land there. They've been the big talk of the town so far. Nick Merckx giving fist bumps to everyone around him. Definitely someone who likes to promote so much positivity in the community, which is great to see. The other big names here so far today, right now in that 4th spot we saw in the standings, was actually Liquid Poach. He's the highest in the standings right now who don't have a victory royale. Who doesn't have a victory royale? So the 3 above him all have actually won a game. Landjock, who is our other player who's won, is lower on the standings. But Poach showing just how quality of a player he is, Lupo, to be that high up without having a victory yet.
Now, I'm looking forward to see players that drop like 10+ eliminations in a single game. Animal Tylers, I want to see them show up and play that aggressive gameplay that they've played in the past. There's a chance that maybe right now we've been through 4 games, and maybe before this they were playing a little timid in comparison to what they had done during the qualifiers. It could be the pressure. All these people watching and the number of players that are around them that are extremely competitive. Speaking of competitive players around them, the drop is coming soon, Courage. Are you ready for Game 5?
We go. Quick little break, a little reset. We've added another game. We've seen all sorts of stuff. Game 5 is here. The bus has taken off. Remember, each victory royale, $25,000 in the bank in prize money. Let's get into the action.
Southwest to the far east, going to fly past Lonely Lodge there. You'll see a couple of the Liquid players, pretty well known for going Wailing Woods. They'll wait till a late drop. You've got in your bottom right there Nate Hill from FaZe flying in. He's looking towards Fatal Fields. But pretty much everybody, like we've seen, consistent spread. Not a whole lot of engagements. Not a whole lot. There's no more than like 5 or 6 players in a single location. Even less than that, typically. Retail has a handful there. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It looks like at Tilted. 2 players laying on the south side there. This is back over the Fatal Field to see. Running around. Nate's going to try and get this. This is an outside of Fatal drop. Full shield, a good pickup early. He's got an AR, some bandages. Nothing, I was literally about to say, nothing up close. Picks up an SMG. A decent kit early. You'd want to look for a shotgun. But I'd like to point out, Jack, that the anti-grav shield, the bubble is there visually, but just so everybody's aware, the effect itself has been disabled, like we said. So don't worry about the fact that you can see the bubble. Again, it's not engaged right now.
Now I just want to go home and fly around the map.
I do. turn that into a thing.
Either way, here's Ranger, who's got a tactical shotgun and a rocket launcher. Interesting loadout off the break. I think he realizes that as well. When you have the rockets, it's so key to get that high ground established right away. Rockets so much more lethal when you can obviously shoot down onto your opponent with them. This is Saint, who continually lands near this Greasy Grove area. From my experience in previous summer skirmishes, no, he's been clingered. Remember, clingers do flat 100 damage, so thankfully the shields will save him. But he's got to try to disengage, and he only has 2 builds. This looks like it's going to be a disaster for him.
Looks like he got potentially a little distracted by looking for Nice down underneath, and Bowman took it. Yeah, it was Bowman from the backside coming from the south, chucked that clinger. But Bowman now focuses on Nice inside the building.
And another!
Player 4 is into the match. Bowman very low here. He's tossing the remote explosives. Maybe take an opportunity to pop that med kit. You're not going to have another time to do it. Gets the mini. A faster use, so the mini is going to take priority. Wants to get any buffer he can. Tyler's in the feed, by the way, getting an elimination in there, but Bowman gets that mini use off. Crashy, the player pushing up here.
Oh, Nice with the eliminate of Bowman. Crashy's got to follow this up quick because, I mean, look at the health he has right now. 200 HP. That was his last build. He's got a great swap combination between that heavy shotgun and the drum gun, which still has a full clip, and there's all sorts of loot down low.
Saint dropped the rocket inside through the building, explodes. Oh, Nice. So now this is from the outside. So Crashy may not realize if that was Saint from up top of the hill. The player inside, he knows is gone now, but he's got to try and figure out where it came from. Saint sliding down for a little bit of fall damage there. This is Aiden back into the towers. Look at his first elimination. Catches Kairos off guard, both dropping on top of the big red apartment building. Comes away with a purple AR too, which is really good, but it doesn't even matter. Look, he already has a gold AR. He's going to push inside of his chest, and the hope for shield, and I think he just pulled one right there before it got away.
Interesting. This is probably the first game where Nick has actually reached max shield before Aiden. I think Aiden will catch up though here soon.
Ecstatic, the typical third party in Tilted. Here's your leaderboard for right now. Aiden with an elimination there. Hopefully gets sorted by elimination count. Morgoth, though, you see the score. This is your leaderboard sorted by score on the far right side. Morgoth was at 8. Blind, second place is 6. Nate Hill, Aiden, Bizzle, and Saf rounding out that top 6.
Already 500 material. Such a good match.
3 remote explosives. He's got a swap weapon and upgrades his shotgun.
And just for everyone at home, when we say swap weapon, we're talking about the submachine gun. So you can take the pump shotgun shot, and then because there's that delay before you can fire the second shot, instead you swap to a spray weapon, whether it's an SMG, a drum gun. Some people even just use an assault rifle.
That's all you have. You know, you got to take the opportunity. The reason being, during that cooldown period after you take a shot, you see it.
It's a 96 tag right there.
The FPS knowing exactly how to utilize that timing, basically the right amount of AR spray, and then swap back to the shotgun to try and go for another shot. Shotguns hit so hard up close. In these up close fights, every single point of damage matters. If he's accurate, he's in the right amount. He's the right range away before damage drop off takes over. The timing on that could be key. It could be the difference between a one shot and maybe your opponent spraying it down while you're trying to get the shotgun shot off.
The FPS is, instead of building himself, he's just going to reset to the high ground. And he's dodging these clingers, so it looks like he's kind of read his opponent perfectly. It's Alpha Amons just inside the build and brick. And look, he's shaking his head. You can see in that camera, frustrated with the position he's in right now. Not a lot of health, very exposed, and the FPS is maxed on HP. And he's going to match the build right now. I think the end might be near for Alpha here soon.
Alpha pushing up against the top down on him, trying to get the jump shotgun shot. FPS kind of layering away. He's got multiple layers there, basically right at the perfect spot to lay a floor back up a step, lay another floor. So there's multiple wood platforms between. Amon's deciding to go for it. He's trying to get the top down. He's got to hit big shots here. It's 100 HP, 100 shield on his opponent below him.
It's almost to a point where like Alpha has to hit like a snipe headshot or something. A ridiculous scenario he finds himself in. The FPS just rotating all around, bouncing. Looking for that perfect... It's also a thing where if you're the FPS, if you're wondering why he's kind of playing this slow, yes, he doesn't have the high ground, but he almost doesn't want to take any damage either. Right? He knows he's got a heavy advantage, but he's looking to just get that perfect opportunity. Now might be his chance. It might just be time to spray this player down, shoot that top left structure, and it might all fall.
He's got it looks like there's 2 connected points. If he goes for it, which is exactly what he's going to do, he's got that the arch, the half arch is all that's holding it up, and here it comes. Alpha's got to drop down and save himself with a build. Lands on top of the building, just barely got down fast enough to not take any fall damage, but he's still basically one shot at this point. One pump shot is going to be all it takes. Bush catches him in the corner, and there it is. First elimination for the FPS. An excellent set of plays there. Choosing just the right time to push.
Here's another side of the map. Ripmate. Not much useful weaponry in his inventory. What?
An 82.
I take back everything I've ever said.
Catches Landjock, our first winner off guard there. Takata Right here and shift these shafts, jump around trying to get the top down on his opponent, drops in and a big hit, 2 HP left. Actually, he does have a med kit and minis, so he's still, you know, give him 20 seconds, he's back to 150.
No, Fade went to drop the Portafort and it actually spawned above him, so he wasn't safe. It's so key when using those Portaforts, especially on uneven ground, that you jump as you activate it, so you land above the layer of the Portafort. Here's Aiden at only at 100 HP. Seems like he's been tagged up quite a little bit. Who's nearby? Nibs is nearby. Marksman's nearby. Ecstatic is here. No idea if Nick Merckx is still in this game or not. We'll have to get you guys an update on that.
It looked like he might have still been inside the big gray tower that he tends to. If it's anybody in there, it's going to be Nick. But once we can see that, we'll let you know. But this might be the busiest tilted we've seen in quite a while, and this is the first time I think we've seen Aiden decided to back out. Maybe too many people. His loadout though, no shield, not a whole lot of materials, but a gold AR, a gold heavy shotgun.
Yep.
Train here. Wonder if he's going to try and hit a big deagle shot on this. The purple hand cannon. Top boy dropping down. Looks like he got an elimination on Blue T in the feed there.
He's got a revolver, as you know, from the most recent developer update. That'll soon be vaulted here in Fortnite. So, a little homage to our soon-to-be lost friend. Chris is just going to run away from that fight. What is this end? What is this zone? What is this zone? Literally half of it is out of play. And that's a mountain right there too, Lupo. That's one of the tallest mountains in the game, right above Flush Factory.
You see somebody hanging out way north, way outside the zone.
Nick is still alive.
Nick is still alive.
0 limbs yet, just playing very passively. Nibs is running out. Everyone's fanning on out of here.
Nick's towers. Make the MFM proud, Nick. He's got to try and he just kind of needs to buy his time. He's got 55 seconds. He doesn't necessarily have to rotate just yet, and he knows. Look, Ecstatic doing it, literally what we saw him do last match for just a second there. We cut to him, and he wasn't even moving, just standing still, trying to listen, wait for these players to kind of engage each other. He doesn't want to get involved in any of this. Leaderboard being high on his list of things to go after, so I don't want him in the slightest. Nick deciding he heard some shots. Might be time. Going to drop some grenades in there, hoping for a single or a double. Ecstatic goes down. We still have 2 players in there. X's looks like he eliminated Ecstatic. Grenades don't catch any damage. Looking for maybe even just a damage number. Even if you're not on top of it, you'll see the number pop up when you get a hit with it.
He's going to have to make a decision soon. I was about to say he's either got to move or he's got to push this, and I think he's going to do the latter. Here he goes. Nick Merckx now moving on in. Here's a ton of shots going down, expecting players to be weak. He wants to play this high ground. Sees one inside. Can't get a tag on the player. One off to his right at double L's as well. Nick obviously doesn't know exactly where Exis is with that little HP. There's a 3rd player as well down here too. This is Envy Gorilla, I believe at least.
It's a shotgun shot off him. Looks like it was still shield damage. He's going to know that his opponent still has some sort of defense there.
He has the weaponry for this. Between the drum gun, the blue pump shotgun, the rare pump shotgun, but he's going to go ahead and fall back for now.
He just ran out of explode ammo too, so he's got nothing left in that grenade launcher. Maybe 3 or 4 more explode ammo. He could have just kept dropping them in there, kind of expose.
And I can tell you, Nick isn't happy to be leaving Tilted at 0 limbs. This is the first game where him and Aiden, I think, both leave Tilted without a single elimination.
Jamonka phase out here, trying to rotate. Looks like southeast. He's going up the ramp. This ramp already built, so he didn't have to waste a whole lot of materials. It's a good option to, especially in competitive games like this. You don't want to burn through a ton of resources. You're gonna, in the future, if you plan on going for late game, you're gonna get caught up close next to somebody and have to most likely take advantage of turbo build. Try and keep a layered defense between you and your opponent. You need all the materials you can get. Look at Cease here. 650 wood, 770 brick, 140 metal. He's sitting on a ton of materials.
And he's actually in a little build engagement with Morgoth, who, if you remember, is our 1st place player up to this point. Quick update on the actual eliminations this game. Animal, who's one of the 2 players this week with a 10+ elim game for the victory, actually has 4 elims so far, and still a ton of players left.
A handful of players still alive, too. We have Top Boy, Gorilla, Morgas, Rio, Struggs, Tokata, and Tylers, who are all sitting at 2 eliminations apiece, which means one more for each one of them is a point for this game. And every single point counts. It could be the difference between you know, the 21st through 100 placement prize of 5,000. You got to remember, everybody comes away with 5,000 if they made it to the grand finals, which is huge. but a single point could push you up in the top 20, and that could be massive. A lasering Takata establishes his,
Animal, who actually got that elim. That's now 5 for him. 2-point game for Animal.
Saf gets the FPS and the feed there.
Ooh, it's Nick Merckx out of the zone.
Literally immediately clapping here at PAX for Nick. Mars City's eliminated by the storm there in the feed, you see. It's kind of a stalemate here at the edge of the circle. Movement's going to have to happen before too long, and both of these players are established in their little box. They have 1:20. You have plenty of time to make a decision. Nick could drop his campfire too. This is Tyler's and Triz back in the bottom floor, tilted, hanging outside the zone, trying to just peek for that quick shot, and he gets Triz from the top window of that door.
He was so far into the zone still. Over to Rio now, spraying that LMG, swapping the Scar, and whoa, gets the one bullet to connect. That's all he needed. Knew he was weak.
That's 3 eliminations for Rio, which gives him a point for this game.
And Asteria is still in this. And I can tell you, Asteria, landing greasy. He's been very happy to see the zone since we swapped off. Nicky got tagged, and look at Emad. Back-to-back limbs, but then Aiden actually cuts him down. So Aiden and Nick each now with a limb on the board.
Aiden actually has 2 right now. He's 1 away from picking up another point for the day. That'd be Aiden's 4th point. Rex is hanging out in his own. There's a little box over there. The clingers. See the clingers flying over the top of Nick.
No help from his AR right there. Not getting any connects. Gosh, I can tell you right now, Nick wishes he had some explodes left from his time in Tilted to be able to use. And that's a brilliant wall. That wall's going to block out the sight line of the player in that build just next to him, so you can put some pop shots down on this player who's trying to run away from the zone. Nick will have to move forward, and that's when this is going to get absolutely awkward for him. Expect the player up top to probably prioritize Nick here.
Got a couple of trees as natural cover, some structure that was built by somebody else, but I think he just saw it. Looks like there was like a window peak to a southwest 240 up there. Somebody might have edited a hole out and try and take shots at him as he's rotating, and he covered himself.
This zone is absurd.
This is it. What would you say? Like 40% of it is over the water right now. This is Aiden's 2nd elimination. Right on the coast right here. Cass is a player. It's Emad. We watched that just a second ago. We commented on Emad establishing a double there on
so that was Emad who got a double, but then he eliminated Emad, meaning 3 players worth of loot was there. So now he's added a ton of materials, shields, and a legendary compact SMG to his inventory.
I don't think Aiden picks it up unless it's legendary at this point.
Apparently.
That kid is insane.
It's like everything that gets dropped in front of him upgrades out of the person's inventory.
Multiple players underneath and making quite a bit of noise.
Just eliminated his teammate Brandon.
Tempo going for a fast out of the side window there.
Aiden with another elimination. I believe that will put him at 3, right? Making him another game with another point. He's been so consistent with that so far today.
Kayun just got an elimination in the feed, but Top Boy takes him out. We have players countering players, and this is all very much on the coast. Imagine somebody sliding down to try and be on the outside edge. We'll see, depending on this next circle. There's going to be time to move relatively soon. We got 5 seconds before this finishes. Flush Factory still has a ton. The top of the hill, like you said, one of the tallest hills in the game. There's going to be a lot of players at the top down, and here we go. Flush Factory has to move out. North side has to move out. All these players are looking at right now. It's time to move.
Here are those clingers. Way earlier on. That was Crunch who got the pitch on the sap. But this next zone, half of it is on one of the tallest mountains in the game. The other is on one of the lowest valleys. So high ground going to be everything here. Here comes a nice little build engagement. Cease dropping down the remote explosive, but gets shot in the back. He tunnel visions on replays and pays the ultimate price.
C4 is still sitting up top, so you got to be careful that nobody else maybe notices that and shoots it if you're moving over the top of it. But Aiden here, very top corner, top of the map, edge of the map. He's looking for an edit down on his opponent.
He knows that this player has the double barrel. It's got a unique sound effect, which is so key to listen out for. Bolt Naga also has the Rift to Go in his inventory. Maybe in a panic position. He could use that to actually, he might use that here to get the high ground on the top part of the mountain.
We'll put it basically all the way up there.
They have to move in 30 seconds.
Go Bolt hiding underneath is the player we were just talking about. Aiden's going to keep watching for him and listening while engaging other players. This is basically taking 2 fights at once, and I think the idea is maybe you can pull an elim from at least one of them while somebody's rotating. Everybody's in front of him or underneath him at this point.
Yep.
So he knows he's not going to get caught off guard from the back. He's not going to get caught tunnel visioning from any of them. But the top of that hill, Courage, they have vision on literally everything.
This is Cease from earlier on. Saw it. Brandon building on up and whiffs the hunting rifle shot, but thankfully for him, Brandon gets quickly cut down, and then I think there was a second player here.
I believe that's Morgoss hiding underneath him. Earlier when he take the shot. Also, the same hunting rifle shot, just barely missing again. One of those is going to pay out, but he clips Morgoss on the rotation. Just over the build, too.
Here's Asteria, 0 elims so far. Nick Merckx just eliminated Tempo.
That puts Nick Merckx at 4 elims. That's at least 1 point. And one more elim to put him at 5. Asteria lasers down Aiden.
And look, Aiden got a little scared by that. Nick now at 4 elims. Has a point on the board. Nick's got a ton of family here this weekend. It's funny, keeping an eye on his dad every time Nick gets in a fight. I got eyes on him. And he's listening to Neo, actually, someone who, you know, from Nick's streams. They game a lot together. Neo's telling him every little bit that's going on, making sure he knows exactly where he stands. He got blessed by this next zone, too.
Nick, though, only 49 woods. He's got 4 builds total. It's a Cease from earlier who was just putting on an excellent show. But Nate Hill, look at this, hiding in the shadows up here and takes shots at Cease. The tunnel vision kind of caught Cease off guard there. Nate Hill took advantage of it. I think Mercy, like I said, 4 limbs, 3 builds left right now. He can stay hidden
here for so long, though.
I mean, he's inside the safe zone.
Yep, he's like a ghost. People are just not even going to think of him being down here.
Hiding in the shadow, too. Players that even rotate past might not see him hiding. He's got. This is actually it's an excellent spot for him to be invisible on the rotation. See play. This might be the most spread we've seen the field for in quite a while.
I think a lot of it's the verticality of the mountain. Look at how awkward this is, trying to build on up. I love this camera shot right here. Great stuff production.
Sean was catching Carosa on the rotation up the stairs off guard. He's hiding in like a little side chamber there. Time for Bizzle from Ghost Gaming to move up as well. A lot of these players, they're going to decide when to rotate. And it looks like more players are going earlier than we've seen in the past. Oftentimes, we see a lot of players deciding to wait till the last second. But it's because, like you said, the verticality is deciding that right now you need to move. Because not only do you have to build forward, you got to build up.
Unfortunately, you can't use your pickaxe to break down the entire mountain. So players have to move early. Ghost Bizzle doing just that, moving towards the zone. I wouldn't be surprised if he makes it into the zone and immediately just boxes on up. Yep, there you go. He's trying to make it close enough. Needs to get right around this corner, and now he's good. Time to box. Ooh, he does take a heavy amount of damage, though, before he's able to get the wall down.
You start building those chambers out. Shots are coming out, though. Somebody's trying to challenge this little set of boxes he's building. He's still getting shot from the side.
And the reason they're even spraying him even more is his build auto-switched from brick to metal, which is a sign that he's out of brick, which makes you think he's having to use metal now. He's probably very low on materials. Tifu's still in this game as well, alongside Geomach.
Replays and Sinful caught at the bottom. This is going to be a fight to stay ahead of the Storm and ahead of their opponent.
I feel like both of them are going to get a limbed right here.
So Nick Merckx sitting on 4 limbs, maybe looking for his 5th right now, listening. He doesn't have any builds left, so he's chasing. He's going to spray the wall down and catches Rex inside his own box. That's 2 points for Nick Merckx. Top 20 left. He makes it to top 10. That's another point soon. He does have, and he's got a med kit.
That was a smart play from Nick. He goes to pick up the opponent's grenade launcher. He had 0 ammo in his grenade launcher, but Nick was hoping that if he picked up the other grenade launcher there, that there might have been some ammo still left in the clip. Unfortunately for him, there was none, but a sign of a smart player. As, oh my goodness, Hysteria, if he gets sneezed on right now, I think he's eliminated from this one. I think if Nick flexes his traps, Hysteria's character would get eliminated here.
Bizzle moving up, trying to get in an advanced spot up this hill. He doesn't want to get caught off guard outside the zone. You see he's already rotating towards the east side of the circle. He saw the fact that, yeah, that's the side he's going to have to go to. The next circle, it's a full movement. Everybody's got to relocate. You got to get ahead of the zone if you want to move and stay alive.
So like every time he pushes out and makes another one of those like little 1x1s, he's burning through 60 material, and he's only got 200 something left. So that's all going away quick. Struggs, someone we saw earlier on. We got an interview with him after he had a big performance earlier in the week. Here comes the zone move. Rio launch pads up to the high ground. Nick Merckx having to go bounce pad time as he's going to try to keep up with this zone. Oh, he's going all the way to the low ground with barely any builds left.
Nick's on 6 eliminations right now, by the way. 1 more would put him at 7. That's 3 points. He's got 2 points already from this game.
Rio in the fight. Sean trades out that limb. You see Struggs now down. Nate Hill still in this one as well. Nick Merckx with another elimination on Base Soldier. I think that puts Nick at 7 eliminations. 3-point game for Nick Merckx, as this is going to move him way up the scoreboard now.
Game now.
Another elimination from Nick. That's Tifu down. A statement game from Nick Merckx. And he's got medkits to use. Nick Merckx can win this game.
Heavy, super low HP. You've got a whole ton of players above him, and he's sitting pretty down at the bottom. He might have the ability to rotate along the edge of the storm. You see with the location on the mini-map, it's going to carry all the way along the base, and he catches somebody on the way down. He's trying to go for
materials.
Elam number 9.
He needs these materials.
Every elimination from here on out is icing on the cake. He's going to push for He has 7 builds left.
Player's just inside. He doesn't realize he's to his left. Nick can only build 7 walls. He's already earned himself 4 points this game.
He's got to save those for moving up the hill. He can't waste too much of them right here. Luckily, he's got a little bit of defense here. Somebody already built wood. He's got to move up, though. He can't stay down on the bottom because he's about to be outside the zone. Now's the time, Nick. You got to move.
Oh, no.
Get inside. Get inside. Here we go.
He's in.
Solid play. Excellent job staying inside, but he's got players all over him.
No! Nick Merckx slides down the mountain. No builds left. It's over.
5 players left alive right now.
And 72 hours.
Nate Hill, Mac, Bolt, Hovsey. Top 5 situation.
Nate Hill already in a brilliant position. Spot 72 hours. That's a free elim, which gives him another point. Remember, if he makes it to the top 3, he earns another. Nate Hill, who is already in our top 5, might be making a move up the leaderboards, folks. 4 players left. He's got no builds, so he's got to use whatever he can for cover. Look at the height difference Mac has done. That's top 3. Another point earned for our remaining players. Povesey's got no builds left, so he's going to get dropped on down.
He's got a player right underneath him. Bolt all the way up top. Looking down Nate Hill. This 1v1 situation. Nate Hill still left alive, and Bolt's got the top down on everybody. He might even have an opportunity. He's layering up. He's going for a heal off.
He can't drop, though. He might be able to fall down to that next level, but if Nate's able to heal on up a little bit, I'm not sure exactly what Nate has. He can maybe shoot him down.
Right now is the perfect time for him to just hang out up top. He's at 95, which means he can start the med kit before the zone closes all the way. He doesn't have to push for the elimination on Nate.
There's 5 seconds left. Nate's going to have to try to spray down whatever he can. Bolt Naga can build out one more structure. He's got 0 elims this game. He's been playing for the Victory Royale. He's got a med kit he can heal with.
You see he's about to position himself on the line, the seam between the two.
Nate's got to keep spraying. Nate has to keep spraying. He cannot let this go to a heal off. He knows it as well. He's got to keep spraying. Nate, the game potentially slipping out of his hands. He needs to keep spraying the structure above. Nope, he's not going to be able to out-heal him. This one's done. He's not going to be able to out-heal. He does not have a med kit. This should be a heal-off in favor of Bolt Naga. It's going to come down to the wire. Nate spraying, doing whatever he can, but it's not enough.
0 eliminations, by the way, but the Victory Royale at $25,000 richer.
God,
because
that's some good YouTube clickbait.
He plays smarter than anybody else. Waited until the very last second and got the heal off. See Nate a little disappointed in the fact that he got caught off guard. No builds left underneath. He had to just try and spray down, and even the little amount of metal that he had left was enough for Bolt to secure just the platform he was standing on and get himself a Victory
That's
Royale.
The name of the game right there, though. It's a BR. Victory Royale is something everyone wants to achieve. That's 3 points. 0 limbs, it does not matter. He outlasted everyone in the lobby. Congratulations to him. You know, Nate's, I think, his window of opportunity, and it was awkward because the metal was just starting to build as he was trying to heal from that last fight. But once that metal finishes, from that range to with the damage fall, I mean, it takes so much to break through that structure.
Now, that, I believe, is Nate's second place on the day so far in these grand finals. But we should still feel good about it. I believe it's 7 points total for him, which, if my calculations are correct, is 2nd place, which is insanity. And he still has 2 games left. We got Game 6 and the surprise Game 7 coming at you right after that.
I think we got some replays to look at as we get ready for the next lobby to start on up. Nick Merckx, big game from him. Got the 7 elims he needed. I believe he finished with 8.
He did indeed, and that's 3 points. Didn't make it, I believe, to actually, he did get top 10, so 4 points total from this game.
Yep.
See, the perfect time catches Lene pushing up the ramp. So many different angles that players can be hiding in. Tracks one all the way down to the bottom, literally sitting on Poach as he tries to box Nick Merckx out, and it was not fast enough.
And this was the big moment for Nick to get him to a 2-point game. You push forward, drum gun in hand, you spray down the wall. And look at from Nick's perspective how low he was down on the ground. It's a good job. Base holder wasn't focused on him. Nick gets a free elim there in the final moments. No builds left. He knew it was done. He knew it was over, but he's got to be proud of that performance either way. make it into the top 10 with 8 limbs. That's the game Nick needed. One pop-off performance could be the difference in a $1.5 million tournament between $5 grand and maybe 25 grand. We'll see.
That's quite a bit of money, Jack.
That is quite a bit of money. Also from Ghost, we've talked so much about how great the organization is doing this weekend. Bizzle had some great performances in this game. Obviously, game 5, still 2 more games to go.
I love seeing these cross sections from the side. You see all the layers coming out as these players progress across, and Bizzle is one that knows exactly the right time to take an advantage shot on somebody.
So I talked about all the great performances.
Did you just cast or curse a replay?
I did.
Courage?
I somehow figured out a way to cast or curse a replay.
You're hitting people with cards. Wow.
I'm never going to be hired back. It's okay. No, I'm just kidding. Please hire me back. Nate Hill from FaZe Clan, their new pickup. He was the first in line for the qualifier heats back all the way on day 1, and now here playing on Sunday, or Monday, sorry.
Hiding from the shadows, the shots on Cease.
He had no mats for all this.
I think that situation, multiple opportunities here. He caught players in bad positions, but playing with no materials, like you said, he's a player that he'll use everything that he has or everything that he doesn't have.
See this moment right here?
Everything that he can.
It's
right there. Yeah, I think the option at this point was just to continue spraying. Granted, it's metal. It's going to take quite a while.
He had to reload. Look, so he took 3 extra ticks just to reload. I'm pretty sure if he doesn't try to heal and just reloads his drum gun and just sprays, he's at least got a better chance than that. Because obviously he knew at the end it was all over. Didn't have the med kit to out heal. Either way, what a day we've had so far. Fun from start to finish. The final day of PAX West. My first ever PAX, and I don't know how it'll be topped, but we actually, the player who won that last game without a single limb, Bolt Naga Ops, on the floor with Zeke.
What's up, guys? Great cast as always. I am joined by Naga Ops. Come on over, my friend. So you win a game, 3 points for the Victory Royale, and you take it to a heel off against the likes of Nate Hill. You just won $25,000, dude. What are you feeling?
I was feeling really nervous and anxious, but I guess I'm pretty happy that I get some money in my pocket. But overall, I'm pretty confident and happy about that game.
So now, what was your early to mid game look like?
Early game, I dropped the Villainware, and I just sat in a box and farmed up all game, and then eventually I got Circle, and I just played the high ground all game.
Now, so obviously toward the end of the game, you were sneaky snaking your way around, being super stealthy. Is that what you like to do, or you think you're going to change it up in these next games? Because you got 3 points now, right?
I like to be more aggressive. I think that playing more passive inside these type of games is probably the wisest play, but I feel like if you want to have fun and you actually want to get inside the heat, you can play like Nate Hill and play low ground warrior and just go shocking everybody.
Absolutely. Best of luck to you in the next few games. You got that extra one as well. Back to you guys on the desk.
$25,000 richer for that Victory Royale, and he got 0 limbs, but hey, it's the way of the game.
I literally see the YouTube video title already. $25,000 no elimination challenge completed.
I'm going to upload that to my channel.
It's not even going to be you playing, but you might as well put it up.
5 mid-rolls on it and have a blast. Ninja will be in the title too, but let's go ahead and get on over to our standings up to this point. There it is. Morgoth still in that top spot, but Nate Hill inching on up. But the big move coming on in, which there it is, 8th spot, Nick Merckx moving on up, earning himself that's a pretty good payday up to this point if he can hold that position.
Now keep in mind, like we saw, Bolt, the winner from last game, only 5 eliminations on the day, but he's in 7th place right now based on the fact that he has more Victory Royales than Nick. They have the same, they all have the same point total all the way down, 3 places past that too, but he got the victory. You have to remember, a no elimination victory he still made it through a field of 98 incredibly good players. It's nothing to gawk at that. Obviously he knew exactly what to do and he made the right plays.
And here we go to the prizing now. Remember, top 20 begin to earn that extra amount of cash. Hysteria right now, the odd man out on the 21st spot, but 21st to 100 still earn 5K, so everyone's a winner here. But 225K.
That's quite a bit more.
Sounds a little bit better in that first place position.
Keep in mind, too, in addition to what you see on your screen right there, Victory Royale is worth $25,000. We've had 5 of those already, and Game 6 is not too far away, Jack. You see the players getting ready. Everyone's getting their hardware squared away, getting loaded into the game, and prepping for this. We have it's go time. It's go time, Jack.
It's time for match 6. Typically, this would be the end of today, but you know what? We've added a 7th game, as we mentioned earlier. Let's get into the action. The battle bus has taken on off. Our players are ready. Ladies and gentlemen in the crowd, are you ready for Game 6? You'll love to hear it. The energy has been incredible as we continue on through.
Here we go. Players dropping out already. Everybody looking for their landing zone. Junk Junction, an immediate drop point. Somebody's flying way out over the water. They're about to cut back for a junk landing potentially. You see a lot of players. People typically avoiding places like Loot Lake. Like I said, fighting the water is not something that a lot of these players want to do. It requires additional materials to build the floor layers up. They can get knocked down pretty easily because you don't often you don't root them too much. So you'll see that relatively sparse, but every competitive match so far has had an even spread. The reason being there, not everybody goes for the hot drops. People know that slow play. You see Tyler's already getting an elimination on Silva with an SMG in the feed. Slow play for something like this. Oh, the C4 play. An early C4 elimination would be rough. No builds from the player that he's up against here, and only 1 C4 left. It means no elim, and Morgas pays the price. At that point, you land, you get C4 only, and you don't get a tag with it. He should have rotated it away. Had no materials, nothing to fight against it.
He hit him once, and the remote explosive does a flat 70 damage. And that's exactly what he hit him for. Tried to get that second to connect, unfortunately just couldn't. Bowman with this early elim inside Greasy Grove has claimed the doghouse. Tempo and Hysteria here as well. That is the exact house that I land at. When Hysteria and I play duos, I'll land at that house and he'll land at Durburger. So looks like he's taking my spot as Tempo has claimed the Durburger for himself.
Trouble was Fulmer taking out C9 Blind, a player we had our eyes on quite a bit. Down early, and look.
The only 2 players in Tilted.
What is this, round 4, round 5? Nick's Towers.
Still says Nick's Towers production. I don't know.
Nick Merckx. After last game, man, I've got to give it to him. He put on a good show. 8 eliminations in the previous match. I think it was an attempt to say, yeah, Aiden, I can do that too. Let's go again. And they're both here. It looked like almost nobody else was in Tilted, so this might be a true 1v1 in Tilted.
Man, that is so fun. That is just awesome. Remember, we are in our 6th game. It can't be stressed enough. We will be playing 7 today after Game 4's shenanigans. As we continue to see exactly how this will play on out. Jay Cuddy.
7th game, Cut. You look at it kind of like a bonus game, and with that bonus game comes still the $25,000 for Victory Royale in that. Just as much as every other match. Now here we go, the start of the engagement. Aiden sitting on a 138 right now. He does have a slurp. I was gonna say I expect him to use it. He almost getting max value out of it. The feed Flower getting an elimination on Jumpman, but Nick Merckx, both of them basically at the same HP, same shield right now. You have to remember that slurp is slowly ticking, which means Aiden's gonna end up at max HP and shield here in just a second. Nick Merckx gonna be at a 50 shield deficit. These players hit their shots, Jack, especially with the loadout that Nick has. You're going to see that pump shotgun, an immediate swap to the blue drum.
And Nick knows exactly where he is in the build, and he's going to stop and just listen. Tags for 20-something. Aiden should still have the HP advantage, and there's the trap. Can't hit the second pump shot, but gets tagged from down low. The remote explosives, though, and Aiden! Aiden again! It's Aiden's Towers now.
It might be time for Nick to choose a different drop location. Oh my gosh. It does make me curious.
Every game that Nick has been able to avoid Aiden, he popped off. But unfortunately for him, Aiden this time goes right back out of it. You see Nick is like, this is like a mental block for him. He just can't get past Aiden.
And knowing Nick Merckx, I mean, we've played with him a number of times. He's going to go back there next match. He's got it. He has to establish dominance. He's one of the most competitive people I've ever met.
It's
almost the point where he says, I don't even care about winning. You know what?
It's an ego check.
I need to take Tilted back.
The M-Fam right now wishing they could spawn into the game with Nick and swarm Aiden with pickaxes, but that's not the case. Prodigy Aces just on the outskirts of Salty Springs is Tempo Sicarios. It's just bouncing around near the cliff house.
Feed ecstatic. Someone we saw dropping tilted as well, kind of avoided it going down the feed. Now Crashy, a guest caster during day 2, now establishing inside these grand finals. He made his way through, getting an elimination there of his own. Farigo, somebody we saw incredibly fast builds from earlier, only sitting on 68 HP. He's got some remote explosive. He's going to try and use it. Tosses it over the top, and he's going to take the opportunity to push up, catching himself on a build. Almost fell the drop down a second time, still catching himself. He's trying to get a top-down view of his opponent here. Traps him inside. The edit, the fast edit, the shotgun. You hear the trap go out. Dodges the trap damage, making it away, getting the elimination.
There's so much going through in the thought process right there. So he's trying to edit. The second you hear the trap go down, you have about half a second to react and get to the opposite side of that build to dodge the trap. He does just that, also finishes the elim. As we swap over to Tempo, he just secured his first elim of the game. On to Triz, and Bowman is close.
2.5 minutes as the zone is closing in. We have a player or two still very far away. Looks like Snobby and Haunted have a handful still out there, and they're the furthest away. Make moves early, get ahead of the game. They're not going to have a ton of materials, but they'll still be able to make it in the safe zone without taking too much damage, especially if they have like a launch pad, rift to go, something like that. You have to use those. We'll see here. Landjock, one of our earlier winners. That power cord skin. You could hear him, he heard the shield being used, so he decided that was the time to push, but his opponent got the wall block in place in time.
Backing on up. Backing on up. Expect Fuzzy to use these minis to get as much HP as possible. So keep the high ground on Landjock. Brilliant pyramid block as well. And with the double barrel, you'd think at some point he's going to go for it. And I think this is exactly it, right? Just make the call to push on in, get close range. Maybe break that down, take command, and yeah, there's the build. Can't get the engagement victory as of yet.
Now the head shake there. Oh, Landjock catches him off guard. Right as he was going for the edit, Landjock was inside and said, okay, you're going to try and open this door. I'm going to open this side. I'm going to back on you. I'm going to rotate out and get a different angle and catch you off guard, and it worked.
Looks like Aiden's got another challenger in his towers. This is going to keep on rotating, but no, here's shots behind him, and this is typical Aiden. Wants to push towards it, gets aggressive, going for the high ground. And the new building, because of all the pallets inside that new building, it lets you leave tilted with max materials. That used to never be the case.
He's sitting on a ton there. This loadout is incredible for mid-game, too. Even mid to late game, he has, I mean, honestly, a ton of ammunition. 200 rounds is quite a bit. Here, the middle of Loot Lake. We haven't seen too many fights happen here. Players kind of avoiding it, but Alias has landed up top. He's getting sprayed down. Has to catch himself on the way down, and he does so successfully. A very well-timed jump.
Spraying with that SMG. Look at his ammo count, though. Once he reloads this, basically has a clip and a half left. Ranger just disengaging for the moment, I believe.
Time to use one of those bounce pads. He's going to try and little trick there. He's got to be coming up from the ramp. It can't be at that. Oh, there we go.
Little 45-degree angle. He got it.
Those kind of techniques, the reason people do that, Jack, the bounce, the extra lift from the bounce pad, when you land on the launch pad, it almost doubles the height that you fly off the launch pad, makes it so you can get much further inside a zone. There's a couple different ways that people build the structures. There's one with bouncing off the bounce pad into an arch, knocks you down into the launch pad. That one right there, even faster. You put them right next to each other and run up at an angle, the 45-degree angle into the bounce will shoot you right onto it.
This is now Aiden versus Sap, teammates from Ghost. Beautiful pyramid block from Aiden as he's now got the high ground on Sap. Tries to pop a mini, but nearly falls off that. He drops right down, resets. It's not his structure. She'll have to place a floor. Just like that, he's set for the moment. Or maybe not. Uh-oh, he's lost the build. He lost the wall. Look at how fast he edits on controller, man. It is absolutely insane.
Yeah, actually, there's
no, he's still trapped, so he's gonna go for it. There's a quick edit. The spray! Aiden takes down Sap. And he looked to smile. He knows we're keeping an eye on him, man.
I want to point out in the middle of that, you notice he had a window was edited right smack dab in the center of the wall he was facing, and he used the pyramid inside the structure he was on to line of sight, kind of crouch behind it like it's a mini hill. That kind of awareness of the surfaces around you is incredible.
He said, I just received word from production that he looked at the camera and said, "I'm sorry, I love you." Speaking about his teammate there.
Matt trying to wall off here. Ooh, big shot through. That double barrel catches Snoop. Look at the look at his face, too. Wow.
With all the shields and the slurp that's there, he should actually get the full.
Very cool. Surprisingly, he's leaving a side open. He must know for sure nobody else is rotating in from that side. If he were anywhere else on the map, that'd be a tough one. But look at his circle. It's going to start pushing not a ton of players in. A lot of people are already positioned, which means not a ton of gatekeeping, but you do still have some fights going on the outside.
Yeah, a lot of people already inside.
As the day has gone on, we've seen more and more players taking the option to move early, because early games, we had a lot of people waiting until the last second just because of the rotation of the storm and when it started to move. It seems like preparedness is higher on people's list.
So he's fine right here, and he's got a med kit, so he can literally gatekeep the zone, but from like the opposite side. He's more than happy to just sit in this right now and play for this elim just below him. There's 2 players here. I actually love this decision from Aircool. Yeah, these players have no choice.
And Jack taking Bizzle out. A snipe 44 meters. You heard the shotgun blast inside, which means these two underneath. Aircool did run into each other, but no elimination yet. There's still 2 people there. He saw his opportunity to get at least one of them back. Goes down to see the shots from above. Aircool trying to be the 4th player, the 5th player here. Depending on how you look at it, the Storm's still taking damage on these players too. 10 into the feed, getting in another elimination. And he's deciding to use the med kit right now.
He's investing everything. He's investing everything into getting this elim right now. Oh, that player, I think trying to bounce. I think that player tried to launch pad, but had the traps out instead, and they just lost to the storm. He's been here the whole time. Yeah, he'll loot whatever materials and stuff he can get, but unfortunately, no elim to show for it. Here's Prodigy. Ace is in a little engagement versus Saint, and that's why the swap weapon is so key. Swaps to the full spray assault rifle and gets the elim there. Oh, waits. Third parties that fight with the AR shot some range.
Now, currently, in terms of players in this match, J-Omoc's the only one with 3 eliminations that does get him 1 point. It's 3 total on the day. Landjock and Vide are both sitting on 2, 1 elimination away from a single point. We do have 50 players. Half the field is still alive, which means nobody's even remotely close to that top 10 just yet to try and secure those points. You're going to see players not necessarily waiting the last second to push them, because that if eliminations are an opportunity. It all depends on how many they have. Vide right now is sitting on 2. He needs 1 more. This is Aiden just moments ago. 2 eliminations of his own, looking to secure a 3rd and try and get another point here. The edits, misses one, just barely edits through. Ooh. Does not catch Nice enough with that, but Nice gets the elimination to Aiden.
I feel like Aiden has become a crowd favorite here. Nick. It's fun. Just for his performance this week, he's literally matched the fan base and the audience of 2 of the bigger content and creators and pro player streamers out there. That's what it's all about. That's a live environment for you. Look at Landjock's materials: 949 brick, 980 metal.
You saw Landjock right now. He's running 2 shotguns. He's got a purple heavy and the purple double barrel. Kind of the thought you think is to dump the double barrel into somebody as fast as he can, and then swap. He doesn't have to reload and still has a shotgun in his hands. And getting laser a little bit from the side. Does have the ability to heal against this. Maybe pop the minis and the slurp, pick those impulses up and get out of town. Emad and Gorilla are also going to end up engaging each other, so you'll have 3 players right here. There you go, the impulse. He's going to try and make a move away. He doesn't want to fight this necessarily just yet. 2 players now, Landjock and J-Omoc, both with 3 eliminations, a point apiece. Vide sitting on 2. Everybody else that's still in this, 1 or less. 6 players remaining. The circle's about to move, dropping down into the woods down there, and the Dusty Divot is going to be tight-knit fights. A lot of wood materials, though, if you're missing out. And there you go. You got a bunch of people already building up little bases inside, trying to any safe zone they can build right here is going to be important. Asteria, one of those players. No eliminations yet. He does have a double barrel. You've seen everybody here using them pretty much all day. pretty much all weekend.
Yes.
And you can't blame them. A lot of these fights come down to on top of each other, people running literally side by side, and you want to hit as hard as you can.
I know Wheats has an elimination. Check on here where he stacks up. I think only one so far. Margos, our top scorer, out. Nate Hill still in this game. 0 limbs yet. No shields, but he is still alive. The player just behind him in score, C9 Blind, is eliminated as well. So Nate has an opportunity to make a move on the leaderboards if he's able to stay alive in this one for a long time. 4
of the top 6 players in terms of points are still in this too. Landjock, Bolt, and Gorilla, as well as Nate, like you were saying. That means that kind of the first place spot is anybody's up for grabs. If any of these players take advantage of the situation, they can pass Margos in points very easily just from this game alone.
Everyone is sitting still. It's like they've called for a truce at the moment. Top Boy has a brilliant amount of materials as well.
It's been a minute 20 since the last elimination. It's funny you mentioned.
With 45 players left still.
Look at this circle. Look at this circle. Now's the time. Let's figure out what direction it's going to go. Everybody's kind of got that centered southeast section of it. Not a big rotation for everybody, but so many players that you're going to run into at least one person while you're moving.
Well, Swooji, you saw staying alive. Turkey Lips finally breaks the clock. Minute 40+ seconds between the limbs right there. Phase Replays is running around. Doesn't want to get a fight with the player up on the hill. There's Jay Cuddy right next door. Replays building out his little huts. Trying to stay alive. Liquid Chap still in this game with 0 limbs.
Tifu still in here as well.
Alongside 72 hours with 1 limb.
Almost looks like Replays for a moment there took his hands off his keyboard and mouse, just saying I don't even need to move. Joystick building up on top.
Joystick, brother of famed esports superstar Pac-Man. There's the limb right there. Wondering if he goes and picks up that double barrel.
He's got a Lenane with almost no HP left and some explodes coming in, trying to laser the wall down. That SMG is going to be tough. Joystick, you see her just hide now. Biding his time, he does pick up that gold double barrel. Be almost a crime to not grab it at this point.
Right.
41 left. Barely anybody was eliminated during that storm rotation. We have 48 seconds until the next move. Gorilla, one of our higher placing, one of the top 6, goes down to Dremen. Nate Hill looking to put on a good show. 2nd place right now overall. Trying to get any damage he can on anybody.
You know he's doesn't have the inventory he wants when he's still got a gray pistol.
Oh yeah.
This late in the game. I mean, look at his inventory.
Materials aren't too bad, but no shield, only bandages left and 95 HP.
He needs like a huge limb right now. And with 0 limbs, he's basically had all he has is a spawn loot. There's another elimination for Wheats, putting him at 3, which will give him a point to move on up the scoreboard. Reminder, this is not our last game. Yes, it's our 6th game, but we have added a bonus game 7. So you'll want to stay tuned. This is a Dusty Divot ending.
Wheats, you just mentioned, got his third elimination. It's a good time. It's a good thing he got it in time because the caster curse, my friend, gets eliminated by Tempo and goes out with a point.
Oh, someone just ripped to go.
Tempo on his 2nd elimination now. Tifu here, 35 remaining, relatively close to the zone, but look at his loadout. He's got the scope AR, he's got a drum gun, he's got a heavy shotgun, but nothing else. Those last 2 slots are empty, which means no heals. Trying to go for an edit there, kind of mistake on the first one. Gets the replacement on some of those materials. And Tifu's going to push in. This is the same structure I believe that the rest of these players are in right now that we're just looking at. He's going to move in. He's just trying to play defensive, trying to get inside an advanced position in the zone. And he's inside the zone now. I would expect him to almost box up on top of what he's standing right there. Very edge. He is safe here.
Wow.
He doesn't have to push. He can just wait for rotations, maybe playing for placement.
He made it so far right there without taking any damage and without any shields or healing. Every little bit of health helps.
33 left, 30 seconds until the next zone. Tifu is very safe here. You see Nate Hill got an elimination in the feed there. That is his first of this match. Air cool underneath. The layers are starting to happen. Tifu's going to try and take some peeks. Anytime he hears shots, you see he starts to edit some holes out. He wants to take a look to see if he can spot somebody while still not playing too aggressively, not playing outside of his position. He's safe right here. He's right at the edge of the zone. And look at the wide angle shot of everybody stacked up, basically smack dab in the middle. But you have players all the way down the hill already at the bottom. Ilchase far on the outside, Crunch rotating in your bottom right. J-Mock flying in the heavy shotgun. Jay Cuddy, though, look, all the way up top. He's got a tower all to his own. He kind of has a top down. Sean probably taking the same launch pad that somebody else did. Here we go, Nate Hill. 2 elims now to his name. Ilchase gets a snipe on TT Reigns. Hey, look at him. Nate's hiding in the very bottom.
He's under the porta fort.
Under the porta fort.
He has found a new...
He's dancing.
Look at him. He's just chilling right now. Nothing to worry about. 30 players left. Nobody will be safe for this next zone as it will move all the way out of the current play area. Tifu's got a far, far area to run to. He still has yet to find an elim this game. His teammate faced J-Mock down low as well. Sean, how high up are you, my friend?
Still going, too. He's got a kind of a double layer tower there.
Can we get a perspective of Sean, please, just to see this high ground he currently has? Because he is building so high up. He's not even in the camera.
A ridiculous number of players left. 30 in this zone. We got the next move coming in soon. Tifu's getting shot as he rotates. 24 seconds left. Trying to wall himself in. He's starting to look pretty low on ammunition. 31 shotgun shells. 58 medium ammo to his name. Tempo gets crunched there. You see in the feed in the bottom left. 28 players, 8 seconds. Courage. It's almost go time.
It's FaZe replays, FaZe J-Mock, and FaZe Tifu all in this little box area.
Only 4 of these players currently have 3 points that are still left alive, but we're going to see a number of eliminations come out here in just 1 second. J-Mock is another elimination on base soldier doing the rotation. Tifu and replays literally side by side as Tifu's trying to push away. Replays might push for the elimination, having the top down advantage. Tifu falls 38 HP, almost gets caught off guard by his
still not safe.
Replays, still not safe there.
Uh-oh. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Tifu again gets caught in the storm. Nate Hill, another elimination. That puts him up to, I believe, 3 as well before he's eliminated.
So quickly we went from basically 26 players roughly alive to 9. J-Mock, everybody that's left right now does get a 1 point just based on placement alone. That's 5 total for Landjock. He's at 3 elims. Turkey Lips, 3 points total and 3 elims right now in this match.
72 Hours is still alive as well.
Turkey Lips has a top down on everybody.
Yep, he's big chilling right now. Landjock tagged down to just 38 health. Runs in the storm for a second. It's Jay Cuddy with the elim. Turkey Lips just playing this high ground. Bolt Naga Ops is still in this too. Our winner from last game, that's his first elim.
We could see our first back-to-back victory royale from any player here.
And look, he's waiting for the crate. Look at him. He's waiting for the crate. What will he get? Something good? Maybe a little present? Oh, the Chug Jug fell. He couldn't grab the Chug Jug in time.
It's okay, don't worry.
Oh, what?
So many players in one box.
What? Everyone was there. And the game's over.
He went from 6 to 1 in a second.
How do I even cast that? It went from 6 to 1 instantly.
They're even looking around to try and figure out what placement they landed. The shift in player count happened so fast.
72 hours.
I can tell you, okay, we have, I have the list, and we've got it right here in front of us. 72 hours coming out first place. Sean was taken in Povsey, got 2nd and 3rd. Turkey Lips, then Tendons, Unicorn, and Bolt finishing up at 7th place there.
Look at this, look at this, look at this. Bye, 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 bye. GG. Look at this perspective again. Falls in. Hey, guys.
Literally everyone in the same 2 squares. You see the look on Turkey Lips' face, too. The reaction to that.
Look at this.
72 hours getting shots on 10s on rotation in. Just trying to get literally anything they can.
Wow.
Sean was eliminated by fall damage right there the last second. And 72 hours taking home the victory royale simply by being ahead of everyone else by a step.
That now sets the tone for what will happen in our final game, our 7th game. We will know where everyone placed for the $1.5 million prize. What a week it has been, folks. What a game that just was, from 6 players down to 1, literally instantly. We mentioned Landjock almost had a chance for another victory royale there. Not the case in the end, but here's how he made it far to that map.
Solid shot to build on his opponent, Fuzzy, right there. You see 1v1 against X's, another one. He's taking those, his aggression is paying off. You see he's 1 or 2 steps ahead of his opponent. He gets the shot off just barely ahead of their build rotation, trying to get up on top of him, and secures a handful of eliminations. But you have to remember, 72 hours just won $25,000 by literally surviving
a storm.
Ridiculous cacophony of players right on top of each other. Yeah,
that's a big thing. Crazy momentum shift for 72 hours there. Nate Hill, who's been a name we talked so much about this week, and well, it's for darn good reason, as this man continues to put himself in favorable positions each map.
Players all stacked up on top of each other. Diggy is basically 1 HP, gets in a fight with Sinful, and hoping, I think Diggy pushing out, trying to get anything he can. He heard the fight, and Diggy maybe a very basically it's an all or nothing situation. Nate listening in there. This last little push in. 19 players.
This was to get his last slim, I think. Yeah. Does he find another? Yeah. See, so that was to get 3.
Rocket from above.
I don't know if he got the look. He was trying to calculate. He was like, did I get top 10 or did I not? I couldn't even tell you. We'll have to find out. But Nate Hill still pushing towards the top of that scoreboard.
We've seen incredible play from him. Consistency is key. Consistency is key. Now, with a player base like this, this many competitive players all in one lobby, you have to have consistent gameplay. We're in a situation where $1.5 million on the line. Consistency is going to pay off more than just 1 or 2 exceptional games, and Nate's putting on quite a clinic when it comes to consistency.
Well, we saw highlights from a few of the players there, but we got to show our winner in the end how it all happened. 72 hours comes out on top. I know Liquid. Just look at this. 7 players, 6 players, and then it just all ends instantly. Bye. Game is over. 6-1. Turkey lips alive reactions there and the sigh of relief for 72 hours. At the end of the day, a lot of these guys have become friends now through competing in Fortnite, playing online together, and it's great to see the sportsmanship live here at the event.
It's a good opportunity to see like like you said, the interactions in person for some of these guys. These players, the first time meeting each other in person here at PAX West in Seattle, which is it's awesome to see that. And we talked to 72 hours during the qualifiers. We're going to take have a little chat with him again here. Zeke, you got him?
I'm here with the man, the myth, the legend himself. 72 hours, dude. All right. First off, let's just talk. For anyone that maybe missed this, 72 hours, you were the #1 seed coming in from the heats before, and now you show up in the way you did. And we only have 1 game left to play. Dude, what are your thoughts right now?
Up until that last game, I was sweating. I was nervous, but I'm glad that it went the way it did, Can't complain, and then hopefully Game 7 we can close out strong.
Now, we kind of had a moment here to watch the replays, kind of like watch things develop. Did you know what was going down there? There was a lot of things happening all at once, but did you know what was going down?
I knew I had 2 kills and I was top 10. I knew if I got my my point for getting 3 kills, I would get into, the higher standings. So I knew I was just going to jump on somebody with a double barrel, which I did. And then I jumped on another person because I just saw him in front of me and I had a double barrel loaded, and then the game ended. And I was like, all right, I'm alive. This is a dub. Excellent. This is good news. I'm proud of this one.
Now, what's your strategy going to be like going into this last game? With that amazing play there, you probably poised yourself to take, let's say, top 10. I'd even go as far as to argue that. What's the play here?
Plan is try to get a shotgun off spawn, and don't let someone who has a shotgun push me off spawn, and then do exactly what I've been doing, and that's the only plan I have right now. Just get mats and try to get top 10.
So what would it mean to you here? Obviously you won this, you got the victory out. That's going to be $25K heading your way. And if you walked away with the massive prize they're coming in first, what would that mean to you as a player?
I'm speechless. I don't know. I just going to play Game 7 and we'll go from there. I don't even want to think about it right now. I can't even fathom. So we'll just go into Game 7 hoping for the best. That's all I can do.
Got it, man. Best of luck to you in the final game. Ladies and gentlemen, we're throwing to a break. We'll be back with more action. Stay tuned.
weeks of competition. $8 million on the line. The 100 best players in the world. And one final game. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the grand finals of the Fortnite Summer Skirmish. Everything leads to this moment. After this next game, we will know who takes home the majority of the $1.5 million prize pool.
Keep in mind, every single Victory Royale over the course of the day, the grand finals here at PAX West, has been worth $25,000. On top of that, first place over the course of the entire event, $225,000. That's life-changing money for whoever comes away that first place spot.
And we talk about that first place spot. Let's see who's currently in it heading into the final game. Our standings a look more Goss tied in points with Nate Hill, but due to the Victory Royale, wins the tiebreak currently. Liquid 72 Hours in that 5th spot, Liquid Poach in that 6th spot. You also see Sean was taken. Solid performance here. Nick Merckx actually dropped from 8th down to 14th. He's just below Aiden, who's actually got the most elims on this front page at 18.
Very close to 20. He's got 1 game left, maybe 2 more. We could see our first 20 elimination player, but a lot of these players putting up 8, 9 eliminations apiece, and the board is heavy with the number of elims.
You saw Chap there, a quiet game from him so far. Only, 1 elim with 3 points. This is it, folks. Our prize pool breakdown one final time. $225,000 for first and the title of Summer Skirmish Champion.
Now, top 5.
At this point,
top 5 is 6 figures regardless, and just making it to the grand finals, Jack, is $5,000 minimum.
We have seen it all so far today. A bit of everything. It has been a ton of fun. With everything said, there are hundreds of thousands of people watching online. Thank you for tuning on in. It's crazy to think this is just the beginning of Fortnite competition. It is improving literally every week. So many great announcements, such a good time. PAX West, I think it's safe to say, has been a major success for Fortnite.
Now, if you're anywhere here at PAX West or in Seattle in general and you got nothing going on in the next 5 minutes, you should probably sprint your way over to the parking lot here, and you got to take this
people
in.
line the street outside. They're watching the
it's
huge
crazy. I see people
screen
across the street actually watching, and the reason, Jack, is because right now,
ladies and gentlemen,
the final game.
One final time. Can we make some noise? This is it. $1.5 million to be decided right here, right now. The battle bus has started. Thank the bus driver. Good luck. Have fun.
Now, like you said, this is Game 7, the last bus trajectory for the entirety of Summer Skirmish, 8 weeks straight. There's a top left to bottom right. It's a pretty even spread, a clear cut across the entire map. You get to see another even spread, players dropping in. I expect, I just got to say this, Nick Merckx versus Aiden, the final round. This might be it. We'll see.
And this could be the most important. They're both close to the scoreboard right now, but, a big thing from Nick could make all the difference. Vape Jesus is wearing the Black Knight mask. IRL
in real challenge.
I don't think that adds any extra armor.
He's got pizzazz, that's for sure. You see Lenine going down.
Does he have the headset on too? No, he's just going for it. Okay, interesting play.
Tilted tower, or sorry, lucky landing. We'll see if this pays off for him. Speaking of Aiden and Nick Merckx, we already got crowd cheering here as soon as Aiden shows up on the screen, and there you go. Whoa, a lot of people. Just crunch. You got Nick Merckx inside the main building. He always drops to, and early rockets for Aiden is going to be pretty important, especially if nobody else has shield yet. And speaking of the devil, there we go. Get a full shield. You can swap weapons out. He's going to get that and green AR. Clingers on the ground too as an option to fill the last slot. Flower on the outside. Some C4, switch to attack, shotgun shot. Whips a little bit left and right. A body shot, there we go. 33 as well. He's got to be low, and there it is. Bovesy goes down. 38 HP left for Flower. He does have a little bit.
You think Crashy's going to sprint
that.
on over, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Saf, who has always been landing at the top of Valhalla or Viking Village here, does it yet again. Drum gun on the ground. He's got Jumpman nearby. Does have a health advantage.
There's a rift there too, so no matter how long this fight plays out, Jack, they can go to the last second, and whoever's left can